The Ford Ranger Cup, brought to you by Ford Ranger. It's legendary tough. Harvey Norman, there's a store near you. Roundup kills weeds, roots and all in just days. 4X Gold, good as gold. And PKF Chartered Accountants, proud broadcast supporters of Australian domestic cricket.
That is a sensational catch. And it's gone. That's a six. Bowling.
Incredible finish to this Ford Ranger Cup.
It's the Tigers versus the Blues in the Ford Ranger Cup at Bellerive Oval.
Welcome back to Tasmania, beautiful Bellerive Oval. It's the Tigers versus the Blues, and the Blues have got a lot to do. Chasing 326 runs for victory at just over 6.5 runs per over. Dan Marsh was sensational in scoring an unbeaten century. So they're not going to need a big partnership from hopefully one of their top 3 or 4, the Blues. Opening the batting for the Blues, Lambert, been promoted up the order. Only played the 7 matches. Not a great average to be opening the batting. So you want to improve on that. And his partner will be left-hander Ed Cowan. Promising player, already got a good record, just 25 years of age, averaging over 35. And Jamie Cox, they're going to have to bat well, these pair.
It's a big chase. Anything over 300's a tough chase. The Blues will be aided by the fact Tasmania don't have their first choice opening bowling attack in. Brendan Drew to take the new ball with Ben Hilfenhaus in Brisbane. And Adam Griffith on the sideline with an ankle injury. So a lot of work ahead for the Tigers, but you just have to give them the early points. 325 on the board. An excellent score. We're just about to find out how the Blues go in reply.
Off the mark straight away. No real movement. It's a very good pitch, has to be said. Brendan Drew, 23 years of age, promising player. Got off the mark today with a massive 6. 11 wickets in this competition. Want to probably get that economy rate down a little bit. They use him as their strike bowler.
He wouldn't have taken the new white ball very often, that's for sure. 11 wickets, very improving player.
Ed Cowan off the mark as well. So both players. Ooh, fancy bit of keeping there.
Yeah, you want to clean that fish off the wicket just behind the stumps. Tim Payne going for a skate. Just a fairly orthodox return. Not the easiest way to take it. Nathan Wegman, the debutant down there, returning it in. Tim Payne will get better than that as the day goes on.
On edged. Played uppishly. Drew has been impressive this year with the ball. First game, 3 for 15 up at the Gabba. 1 for 34 against WA in Perth. And last weekend, 2 for 53. So he's amongst the wickets.
He has shown a great ability to strike. Got off to an expensive start to his career, his one-day career, but is slowly clawing it back, becoming a key member of this attack.
Looking for shape back into the left-hander. Doing the right thing, just getting it up there, see if there is some swing early on. Very cold conditions down here today in Bellerive, so there probably won't be a lot of swing around. Here's the leading wicket takers so far this season. Sean Tate, Shane Harwood, and that man there, Brendan Drew. All on 6 wickets. Good bounce, good carry. We saw when New South Wales bowled, there was some good carry with the new ball early on, especially from Mark Cameron, who bowled a couple of good short balls, but reasonable carry.
And just a hint of shape as well for Brendan Drew. That's something that wasn't evident during the New South Wales bowling innings. Nothing at all really swung, which seemed to take them a little by surprise. Took them a while to settle, but Brendan Drew already finding a reasonable area.
Oh, and a good ball to finish off the first over. None for 3.
Yeah, good start from Brendan Drew. Here's the attack that's got it all ahead of it so far, or now today. Dominic Thornley listed at 3. Brad Haddon and Simon Kadich, they're 2 form players, 4 and 5. Peter Forrest listed at 6, and then the bowlers. So you could suggest they are a little light on for batting. Capable with Horrocks, Nicholson, Bracken. But Tasmania, if they can make early inroads, could make this task very, very difficult for the Blues. Brett Jeeves, certainly one of Tasmania's form bowlers in the Pura Cup, coming off a career best 5-for in the recent Pura Cup match. Take up the attack from the Church Street or northern end. There was some suspicions that he had a knee injury during the Pura Cup match, so we'll see if he's at his top pace here today, but very, very dangerous with a new ball. Generally got excellent control. He'll be taking on Grant Lambert.
Good running. Dropped it at his feet and off straight away. Good start from Jeeves too, right on the money. He's had a good season, Jeeves.
He reportedly got himself as fit as he's been for a long time. Had a lot of ankle injuries, Brett Jeeves, over a reasonably lengthy career now. He's been around 6 or 7 years. Really found it difficult to string too many games together through injury. But naturally good airspeed, good competitor. And now finally getting a good run at things, with today leading the new ball attack.
No run.
Hitting the pitch hard, 136 k's an hour. Capable of bowling faster than that. First class career for Brett Jeeves. 56 wickets. 1 5-wicket haul, which was the last game against the Redbacks down here at Bellerive on the first day. And that's a beautiful delivery. Look where Payne took that.
Now, we saw a few signs of this during the New South Wales bowling innings also. Just the odd one really does take off. Everyone in the field will enjoy seeing that go through to the keeper above his eyes. That's excellent bowling.
No run. Nice punch.
And again, hitting the pitch hard. He's not looking to get the ball up there and swing it. He can swing it back into the left-handers. But at the moment, running in hard, hitting the pitch. Just see him there gesturing. He needs to get up there, try and swing the ball. It's not going to swing for long if there is any around.
No run. Nice.
Pace getting up there, 138, nearly 139.
Yeah, that's certainly quick enough. Anything around the 140s, you know you're around as a batsman. Steady increase, with his fastest ball being his most recent, 138. Is slippery. Good over so far.
And that one stayed down a little bit, but that was an impressive over from Jeeves. 2 overs gone, none for 4.
A delicious Hungry Jack's flame grilled cheeseburger, golden fries and a Coke for under $5 is what we call a great deal. But add a cool storm dessert on top of that and it's what we call a stunning deal. Hungry Jack's Cheeseburger Stunner Deal at only $4.95. It's irresistible. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Slowish start from New South Wales. Been cautious. chasing a massive total, 326 runs to win. That's full, driven, quite an attacking field now. Dan Marsh has got 2 slips in and a gully. He's got a few runs to play with, so some attacking fields.
Who realise the importance of early wickets, Daniel Marsh. You'll see Nathan Horrocks listed at 7 in the batting lineup, and realise there's some huge benefits of getting a couple of early passengers on board when you've got such a big total to defend. Grant Lambert, big day for him, elevated to open with Phil Jakes in Brisbane.
Slash outside, off stump. The shot was on.
Yeah, the shot was on. Probably an easier shot to play off the back foot, but Lambert just happy to release the arms. Would have travelled. Seems to have come out with a pretty aggressive intent. Grant Lambert, maybe he's the man to really get this innings away to a fly. Ed Cowan perhaps take a little bit longer to settle in.
That's good. Getting his line back into the stumps. It has been a problem for New South Wales, the opening partnership. Last year, the openers averaged 16 as a partnership, with only one of those over 50 for the opening stand. So it's an area where they can certainly improve. Lambert gets his chance today with Cowan. Jakes, of course, has been now selected in the test team up in Brisbane. And width, it's in the air and he's dropped it. Burt was the fielder, it came quickly. So a chance.
Yeah, straightforward, but it was really travelling. Lambert got every piece of this. Travis Burt just didn't get the hands up quick enough. New ball has just burst its way through, and as you can see there, a good shot of it, didn't quite get the hands together. So really you could probably say saved 4, but an opportunity nonetheless.
Oh, lovely shot. That is class. Brendan Drew over pitching, and that's New South Wales' first boundary, but a beautiful cover drive.
Yeah, just where you want it on a good pitch. Brand new ball sliding onto the bat, nice. Ed Cowan, nothing but a push through the covers. Well timed. Brendan Drew probably just erring a little, fractionally full. Margin for error on this good surface really quite small for the bowlers.
No.
5 off that over, none for 9.
Yeah, just like the New South Wales bowlers, no real signs of swing. Not really swing bowlers, either of these two. There's a good lineup. 2 men in the middle coming off, well, Simon Kadich, a triple century in the Pura Cup. Brad Haddon, 100 also. Dominic Thornley had a slower start to his season, so you could say he's due. Plenty of work required from their top 6 today if they're to chase down this imposing score. Simon Kadich waiting his turn to bat.
Wait. Yes.
Short, bit of a misfield. Called for 2, he should get it. On a good piece of work by Burt.
Athletic in the field, the Tigers. Missed the one chance already, which will frustrate. Oh, just spoken too soon, haven't I? Georgie Bailey bending over like an old man, but only cost him the single.
Yeah, that was a bit lazy, George Bailey. Very good line and length. Angling across the left-hander. Yeah, Simon Kadich, 306. Sensational innings at the SCG. You saw most of that. But a bit disappointing, though. Got to 300 and threw it away.
Yeah, hold out the long off. Thought he'd had enough Cat. Very special innings. Just struggled a bit to 100. Got to, I think it was 200 balls where he brought up his 100.
Short delivery.
But ended up 306 off 351 balls. So his second 200 come off about 150 balls. And I can tell you, with some of the most pure stroke play you're ever likely to see, and on a ground with very similar dimensions that day to what we've got here today. Very short square boundary one side. So that man there in very special form.
Down the wicket. Jeeves saw him coming. Maybe gesturing to the keeper to come up to the stumps. I don't think that would be advisable.
Getting a bit of a feel, I think, for how far Cowan's getting down to Brett Jeeves.
Gone. Safe hands to Divenuto, and Jeeves strikes. Beautiful delivery. First wicket down for New South Wales.
So the proactive approach of Ed Cowan has let him down. Brett Jeeves takes the crucial first wicket. Nice delivery, just nibbling away from the left-hander, and Michael Divenuto does not drop many at second slip, especially when they're as straightforward as that. So the Tigers get the early breakthrough here. Ed Cowan gone for 5, New South Wales 1 for 10.
Dominic Thornley is the new batsman, batting at number 3. He's been promoted up the order this season. Average of 26. Be interesting to see how he goes this year. He normally bats round about 5 or 6. Oh, past the outside edge. Successful over for Tasmania, 1 for 10.
Super start to Thornley, good bounce through. Brett Jeeves really finding some good lengths here today. Knowing that it's not swinging, deciding to pull his length back, and that's just perfect. Presenting a lovely catch to second slip, and that is a wonderful camera shot. Michael Divenuto catches the ball in slip as well as anyone in the land. So a good breakthrough for the Tigers. New ball wickets, the key for them. And that's a very, very good cordon. Dan Marsh at first, also very reliable.
Divenuto's got the hand warmers in the pockets. Oh, hits very hard indeed. Once again, Drew a little bit too wide. Outside off stump, put away by Lambert.
He's looking to make a statement, Grant Lambert. Anything outside the line of off stump, he's just giving the full treatment to. He's hit that beautifully. Remains to be seen how expensive the miss of Travis Burts will become. Grant Lambert, very positive start. Run a ball.
Better. Quick single. Brings Thornley back on strike. Yeah, it's going to be interesting how Dominic Thornley goes at number 3. They've normally used him as their finisher, try and close out the innings, but last year he played in all 10 games, 221 runs at 24 with 150. So he gets his chance up the top of the order.
He's a player they've invested a lot of time in. Certainly not the numbers you'd expect from him last year, and had a quiet start to this year also.
Or played away. Thought it was an edge when I saw it live, but he just angled it down the third man, so he's off the mark.
Certainly has a very front foot dominant game. There are suspicions that that sort of length is the sort of length he can be susceptible to nicking off. I saw a game in Perth earlier in the year, a one-day match where he looked all at sea, in all frankness. I think was out 3 or 4 times before he'd made half a dozen, so a big season for him.
Hasn't done his ironing, Dominic Thornley, but there is where his numbers, where he's batted. Number 3, he's averaged 30. Played most of his games at number 6, averaged 39.25, so not too bad. Full. Straight to that man, George Bailey, in front of square. He's one of those players, Jamie, where it seems like he's got a lot of time and you just think he's a class act, but I suppose he's, in a way, it's a little bit frustrating. He hasn't made more runs than he has.
He's attractive to the eye. Very graceful looking player. As Tasmania now making a change. Fine leg up into the circle. Deep cover now dropping off.
Well bowled. 6 off the over, 1 for 16.
Over.
Another good over from the Tigers. 6 runs from it. 1 for 16. Steady start from the Blues. A lot of work we've set ahead of them to chase down this sort of target of 326 to win. I spoke earlier of Dominic Thornley against WA. It was a faint edge through to the keeper, trying to pull a ball that just wasn't there. And that was the end of almost a fairly embarrassing day for him. But today's a different day.
Oh.
Just played away to the gully. Brendan Julian, he tends to spend a lot of his time airborne. Dominic Thornley playing off the back foot. Seems to jump a lot early in his innings and take a long time to get established against that type of length.
Well, I think he gears up on the back foot initially. He doesn't come forward a lot early on. I reckon the key to picking him up is you've got to pitch it up to him early because he doesn't move his feet. He shuffles across the crease. If he bowls short, he likes it in that position because that's what he gears up for. Pulled away. Just enough on it over the ring. We saw the dismissal from the whacker where he was caught behind. And that's because he gears up on the back foot early on. He's looking for the short one. Even if it's not quite there, he'll have a crack at it.
It's not a natural shot for him. He does hit it up. And it does seem to lack control. Most of the runs that I've seen Dominic Thornley make have been driven or cut away through the offside. But a talented player.
Pulled away and over the slips. He went for the flick shot and gave himself some room. And thankfully got enough bat on it.
Well, that for mine is the shot of a man finding some demons. Wouldn't be at all surprised if the Tigers are letting him know that he maybe doesn't like to play the ball that's short and aimed at the body. Thornley responding in a good fashion as far as the result goes, but certainly giving the Tigers a glimpse of his dismissal.
No! Short again. He's got to find his length, Brendan. Brett Dreves. He's bowled short. The last 3 have been short.
Come on, mate.
And he doesn't mind them there, Dominic Thornley. He's got to pitch it up to him.
Interesting little crop of high scores. You'd expect more from a man who's played 50-odd games, batting in the top 6. Maybe today's the day. Will Brett Jeeves throw in the full one? It looks like he's setting him up for something here.
No, mate.
Not a lot of movement forward, given the fact the bowler's short anyway, but always a nervous starter. Once he gets going, he can play some handy shots.
I always love it when there's a game within a game going on. I think the Tigers can sense something here. Really are challenging Thornley. Jeeves charging in noticeably.
No!
That's a better length from Brett Jeeves. 6 from it. New South Wales 1 for 22.
Get ready, guys. This is big.
Right now, Honda is having a run-out sale on its entire Accord range.
Wow, you're right. That is big.
Which means that you can now get a luxurious Accord from only $30,490 drive away.
Wow, that's huge. Come on, guys. Let's show them how small the drive really is.
So run into your local Honda dealer before the limited stock runs out.
Smile, guys, smile.
1 for 22, the Blues. Big target, 326. Already 1 wicket down. Good catch by Michael Divenuto. Brett Jeeves, the man. Missed out with the bat today, Michael Divenuto. In great form in the Pura Cup. Somebody snavelled a catch at second slip. He's just moving now to about a 5th or 6th slip. Still got 1 slip and a deep point.
Yeah, giving Brendan Drew a little protection. Lambert's shown his strength through the offside. Square of the wicket. Drew keen to attack a channel just on and outside off stump. So Daniel Marsh giving him protection. You'll see fine leg there up in the circle on the leg side. Ring of 3 saving 1. So Brendan Drew, you'd suspect, to an attack and off-stump line.
That's a nice shot. Well, the key for any captain setting fields, you've got your fine leg up and you're packing the offside. The key to it is the bowler's got to bowl to it. As you said, you got the field up there, and then on the offside, got a 3rd man and a deep point. Obviously can't afford to stray onto the leg side, but he's got protection on the offside. He can bowl to his field. That's the key. You can always make your captain look silly, can't you? You don't bowl to the right field.
And that's near enough to perfect for Drew. I reckon if Daniel Marsh didn't have 325 on the board, he might have snuck his 3rd or 4th slip into a short cover on this type of surface, but happy to provide very much an attacking option for his bowlers. He realises the importance of wickets. Butterworth at mid-off there, closer than normal. So throwing down the challenge to Lambert if he's good enough.
Good piece of bowling so far from Brendan Drew. Hasn't been a lot of swing out there for any of the bowlers today, but his line is perfect. If there is a bit of swing, he's got it in the right position. It's been blustery conditions, but all in all, the ball hasn't really swung around. Been a fair bit of bounce, occasional one really kicking through, but all in all, the new ball hasn't swung much today. It'll be a quick one. Through safely.
Yeah, good run from Lambert. Had his opportunities to try and pierce the fields, couldn't. So decided to cut his losses, get to the other end. Good cricket, keep it rotating, and with that, change of field. Deep point comes up, deep square goes out. Point there up in the circle with a mate, only a couple of metres next to him.
Down the wicket, Dominic Thornley. It's a dot ball, though. 1 for 23 from Brendan Drew. So they know the target's 326.
And Dominic Thornley seems keen to get a few in a hurry. taking the challenge up to the Tasmanian bowlers. Good proactive approach. As long as that's within his game plan and he backs himself to carry it out, then there's no such thing as too big a risk. Can look a bit awkward if that leads to your demise, but he's a positive player, likes to score. There's a big challenge ahead today.
Coming into a catching gully. So 2 slips of gully.
They're great lines from Brett Geeves, challenging the pads of Lambert. Accustomed to open the batting, he's done it for most of his certain recent grade cricket career, where he's been a dominant player in Sydney. He's already seen today he's got a struggle, he's got a bit of a problem with his right index finger, so he won't want to wear too many on his bottom glove, but good aggressive start from him.
Yes, yes, yes.
He didn't play a lot in the competition last year, Lambert. In fact, just starting off this year in the competition. So it was a bit of a problem for New South Wales. Couldn't get the top order sorted out. That's why there'd been a few changes in the order. But Lambert's played against the Warriors. Batted 6 in that game, and all of a sudden he's back at the top of the order. Didn't play at the SCG against Queensland. So the Blues just trying to sort out their top order. That's a nice shot into position early, Dominic Thornley. It's a good piece of fielding in the deep too. Timed it to perfection. Thought it was going to race away for 4. Ended up only being 2.
He is strong in that area, Dominic Thornley. Just back of a length, eases it through the offside. A good athletic piece of work from Travis Burt. And a good piece of team fielding from the Tigers. Luke Butterworth in support.
Wide ball. Short again and down the leg side. And it'll be an extra delivery in the over. I reckon just a bit too short to Dominic Thornley at the moment. The last over was relatively short to him. There's only 1 pitched up. All of a sudden they've started on the back foot, and he gets in a position that punch through the cover side early, because that's how he's gearing up. Just got to be a foot or 2 fuller, I reckon. That's a better length. You can see there Dominic Thornley not really getting forward, just staying on the crease. I reckon even just a bit fuller, and just on the offside, off stump, we could pick him up.
There's a great battle on. The Tigers keen to see Thornley pull the ball. Does tend to play the shot from an unbalanced position, but will take it on. It really does present an option with his pads. His Jeeves is good enough to find them.
Slower delivery. Well picked though from Dominic Thornley. Last delivery there. No look for the second, he won't get it though. End of the over, 1 for 28.
Give your engine what it wants. Pennzoil with time-released molecules delivers non-stop protection throughout the life of your oil. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
The Tigers got off to a good start. No wicket for 40. The Blues chasing a big total. 8 overs gone. Dominic Thornley trying to get it going here. So finally go up to D square. And a third man. Cut away. No result.
It's a good shot. Just where Dominic Thornley's looking for it. He's strong through that point area. Gets all of it. Travis Burt this time in the way. Good day himself, Travis Burt. A good 79 with the bat. Already dropped the catch, unfortunately. Grant Lambert spilt.
If he hits, it'll be close. And he doesn't. He hit it firmly to the offside, Dom Thornley. It was a good pick up and throw from George Bailey. He could have been in trouble.
Suspect it didn't go cleanly into his hand. He took an extra step on the run just to balance himself. Not a long way away, but that extra step probably enabled Thornley to make his ground anyway.
He'll push back onto the fence, George Bailey to Lambert.
Yes!
Run rate already getting up above 7. 7.13, which is effectively 8 and over required. Tough ask to chase from a long way down.
Over the top. That's a beautiful shot. Didn't quite time it. And it might be enough. And it's not. So, good shot from Dom Thornley.
Yeah, off the toe end. Less than convincing start, but he's just trying to get something going, Dominic Thornley. Got to admire his proactive approach, if, of course, it pays off. So, taking a risk. Fortunate at the moment, favouring the Brave.
Well, I think they've got no choice. I think if you're chasing a target of 326 with the field up and the field restrictions on the fielding side, they've got to take a bit of a gamble here. The wicket's pretty good. The ball's not swinging. I think they've summed that up.
Yeah, certainly good batting conditions. We'll need to maximise these power play overs. We're already into the 9th, almost completed the 9th over the innings. And Tasmania at the moment will be comfortable with their start.
Yes, yes, yes!
6 from it. The Blues 1 for 34. Another game going on. The tour match Sri Lanka at Allan Border Field. Sri Lanka 9 for 210 declared. Nofke picked up 5. Queensland 295. Bickle 125. Maharoof 3 for. And Sri Lankan second innings 226. Vass 84. All the bowlers are making runs up there. Nofke 3 for 21. 142 for Queensland to win that tour match up there in Queensland. They need 107 off 31 overs to win that game, which will be the last hit out before the first test up at the Gabba, starting on Thursday. On Inside Cricket, we'll have a chat to the Sri Lankan coach, Trevor Bayliss, too.
No!
Allan Border will be having a bit of a one-on-one with Trevor Bayliss and getting his thoughts on the Sri Lankan team and the ins and outs, and hopefully Damien Fleming give us a bit of an insight to how the Sri Lankans are going to go up at the Gabba.
Well, certainly that's one thing. Tell you what, BJ, is there a better fast bowler in Australia than Ashley Nofke at the moment?
Inside edge. Should just get one. Tell you what, he's in very good form, Ashley Nofke. I suppose the selectors will be thinking, well, we took all our quicks to India and he's had a head start on them. We owe them the loyalty of picking them, I suppose, for the test, but he's in very good form.
Oh, there's definitely a pecking order, but geez, he's knocking on the door. 5 fers in the 3 first-class games he's played. He's scoring runs. Another 9 I like there is in the runs. Ryan Broad, young opening batsman for the Bulls. Got a bit of class about him. Good to see some young opening batsmen getting opportunities as well. So 20 first-class wickets for Ashley Nofke. He's flying, and he's got a few mates up there too. Good to see Michael Kasprowicz and Andy Bickle back in the team. Mitchell Johnson getting a few wickets in 50. And there's a promising all-rounder there. Luke Butterworth has had some injuries. Was selected for an Australia A tour to Pakistan, had to pull out.
Well, the thing with the summer coming up against Sri Lanka, Glenn, is the players have got to perform. I mean, you pick the first test, you've got Stuart McGill and Brad Hogg up there. They're having a bit of a bowl-off, sorting out who's going to be in good form. And then all of a sudden you've got Ashley Nofke knocking on the door, so there's plenty of batsmen out there and bowlers as well thinking, well, if I just get some runs together, I think that we put the pressure on the current players and also the selectors as well.
There's a youngster on the hill. He's got dreams to get that baggy green on, replace the bright red one.
Pulled away. Is it in the air? It's gone. Straight down his throat. Dominic Thornley goes.
And again, boy.
Brett Jeeves picks up the second wicket for the Tigers.
Great stuff this from Jeeves. Bowling the short ball. It's a good one. Thornley not controlling the shot, just helping it. It's on its way. Brendan Drew very, very safe down there at fine leg. The Blues lose their second wicket. Thornley on his way for 14. They're 2 for 35.
Having asked 1,000 questions, we have the answer. The supercharged TRD Orion from Toyota Racing Development. It's Toyota supercharged.
Thursday, Proteus and Black Caps, the first test live. With Dan the man at the helm, can the Kiwis take down Smithy and the boys? South Africa, New Zealand begins Thursday, 7:30, Fox Sports 2.
Watch this. It's Roundup. It works because it kills weeds, roots and all. And in just a matter of days, they could be pushing up daisies. Roundup kills weeds, roots and all in just days.
Brad Haddon to the crease. Great strike rate, just under 100. It is Brad Haddon. Run out of jumpers, the Blues, it looks like. Should have handed them over at the fence when they walk on and off the ground. 133 is his best. If he gets going, he can really nudge that target of 326. Very good over there for Brett Jeeves. 2 for 35, the Blues. He dug it in. Wasn't that short. It wasn't round head high, but he's picked it up pretty well. Dominic Thornley, the placement wasn't ideal. Straight down his throat. Brendan Drew's got good hands. He's taken a lot of catches in the deep. That's off effort, that.
That's a completion of the first power play. This begins Blues 2 for 35.
Must be a Tassie thing, that. I don't know what that is.
Well, they're in their own Movember as well. But it's been an excellent opening partnership by the two bowlers, Brendan Drew and Brett Jeeves. After the first power play, 2 wickets down for 35 runs.
The big wind-up from Peter Parker.
Looks very natural doing that. Bit of Saturday night fever in his day. But it's time to get going. Run rate's going up, 7.3 required.
He'll look for a couple here. if not 3. There's a big gap on the offside. He's coming back for the 3rd. He'll have to hurry, a direct hit, and he could have been very close. It was a slow turn from Grant Lambert coming back for the 3rd. Good shot. This turn here up the top there. Oh, he would have made it, but geez, he made it difficult for himself coming back down there. He's sucking in the big ones now. Whew.
Well, he's got an opportunity, hasn't he? Lambert opening up to bat through, chase this big total. And this man's in excellent form. 100 in the last Pura Cup game. Batted beautifully in India in the one-day series. Started with a couple of 50s. 69 in Bangalore. 87 not out of 69 balls in Cochin. That was very, very hot that day. So putting his hand up not only as the backup keeper to Adam Gilchrist, but cementing a spot in that top 6 in the one-day team. He's got enough talent. Forward Ranger Cup last season, averaging 67, a strike rate of 104.
And he's off the mark. Yeah, he's a wonderful batsman. He was in the shadow of Simon Kaddish in that Pura Cup game against Queensland. But Flem, you would have seen a lot of him in India. Coming in the middle order, he batted everywhere over there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's just so adaptable these days. Gets so much bat speed, hits the ball hard. Played the spin okay over there as well. And built big partnerships, particularly with Michael Clark, Andrew Simons.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's a good shot from Lambert.
Come back.
Should come back to the 2, and he does.
But just as Adam Gilchrist had to wait for the end of Ian Healy, who was a great keeper for Australia, Brad Haddon's been in the wings for a long time now, but when it does happen, they've got a ready-made player. He'll provide a lot of leadership as well, improve with his glove work.
Slower delivery. It's a little off-cutter.
He's an excellent athlete, Brendan Drew. Beautiful run-up, tall man, high release. Just working on his skills as well. More a seamer than a swinger, but he can, in the right conditions, get the ball moving away. Tim Payne wants a catch behind the wicket. Didn't have a lot to do with the bat. Enthusiastic character.
And the over 6 from it. 2 for 41.
Get connected with Harvey Norman and Telstra. For a limited time only, connect to any 24-month Telstra phone plan on the Next G network and get a bonus GPS navigator valued at $375. Connect with this hot price Samsung. Pay $0 up front on a $20 Telstra phone plan. Or the Slim Chic Razr 2 V9. $0 up front on a $60 Telstra phone plan. And you'll receive a bonus GPS navigator. Remember, we can print photos direct from your mobile phone. Get connected now at your Telstra dealer and mobile phone specialist.
2 for 41, the Blues. 326 the target. After 11, the Tigers were no wicket for 51. That was the key to their innings. Dan Marsh came in at number 4. Smashed 100.
Explosive athlete, Brett Jeeves. Bowls the ball as fast as he can. Hits the ball a long way as well. Picked up 5 for 49 in the last Pura Cup game versus the Redbacks. His career best. He's hitting the deck nice and hard today. Doing an excellent job for his team. Good straight seam as well. Off stump. Nice and bouncy. Getting Haddon caught on the crease.
He's got great shoulder action, Brett Jeeves. He gets up to the crease well, Doesn't get a lot out of his run-up, but he gets there, but it's more out of the shoulder. It looks like sometimes he's overstriding in the crease, but he just gets himself set. Really bustling sort of run-up, but at the end you see that follow through, right down, hits the deck hard. That's the key to his bowling.
Dead ball.
And hence the short run. He doesn't get a lot of pace from that. It's the strong body action. Broad shoulders. The run-up is just getting him up to be balanced when he gets off that takeoff step.
That's another good delivery. Well, his run-up is short, Flem, and it looks like he's not quite ready. He's not as fluent because he bustles it. See that there? He really takes off quickly because it is such a short run-up. It's not a rhythmical run-up, but he gets himself set at the crease, and then that last explosive bit off the crease, strong front leg, and powers over. That's where he gets his pace from. Bowling 135 to 140 at the moment.
Sure. What foot is it?
Just 3.
So, oh, the ball's okay now. Needs to shine it up, see if there's any swing there. Fastest delivery, 140. Excellent pace.
Oh, nearly snuck through. Trapped him on the crease. It was coming in, and he just got enough bat on it, Brad Haddon. He's got him back on the crease.
He's bowling at good pace. Like Haddon can't get right back or forward. Little bit of a gap. For a moment there, he thought it was going to go through. Jumping in the air, that's a vulnerable position. Chance to see another bouncer, you reckon, BJ?
Well, he's got 2 back, so it's not a bad call. He likes hooking, Brad Haddon. He prefers the ball probably short early on because he doesn't come forward that much, but he's got protection, well worth it. It's got to position it right. It's got to be just over off stump and around head height.
Still a risk, horizontal shot.
Good over from Brett Jeeves and Tasmania in the first one of the innings. The Blues 2 for 41.
Excellent stuff from Jeeves. We've got some options with the ball too. Wigman on debut. Doherty with his left arm orthodox. Buttersworth as well. So score comparison, Blues just dropping off. It was really in those last 15 overs that Tigers accelerated thanks to Marsh and Bailey.
Got to get up near the orange, the Blues. Already 2 wickets in the shed. So changing the bowling. Luke Butterworth playing his first game in the Ford Ranger Cup this season. Been out through injury. Very good performer. He was man of the match in the Pura Cup final down here. 8 wickets last year in the comp. Did a very good job for Dan Marsh. Handy all-rounder.
Yes.
That's good placement there from Lambert. Not an easy shot to play that one. He'll pick up 2.
Work the big O.
Yeah, tough. Bit of a French cut there. Bit of a real warm-up ball for Butterworth. Outside off stump. Get through that crease. It's a cold day. You've got to be ready to go. Payne up to the crease. Up to the stumps, so the batsman won't be walking down.
In the air over mid-wicket. He got enough bat on his time to perfection as well, so Lambert picks up a boundary. There were cries of catch it. It went over Michael Divinito at mid-wicket. He just got enough bat on it.
This is what the Tigers did well. They targeted this short boundary on the hill side, even though Lambert didn't middle out as much as he wanted to. Short boundary in the gap, 4 all the way.
Looked like he was coming down the wicket, just giving himself a bit of room, Lambert. This is how he got out in Perth in the first game of the Ford Ranger Cup. He was very unlucky. Sean Marsh taking the catch in the deep. So he's a strong hitter.
I think it's worth a bouncer from Jeeves's end. The larger boundary. And they've got to get scoring. 7.5, the run rate required. Each dot ball just builds and builds. That'll be in Butterworth's mind.
Well, what they did well, the Tasmanians, is they picked up the boundary, they picked up the singles, but they just kept rotating the strike. Different batsmen on the crease, they picked up their ones, they hit the boundaries when it was there. They took a risk. Michael Dighton took a few risks as well, and it came off. But they've got to rotate the strike as well.
And they took a good power play too, didn't they?
Well, Batsy, it's out if he misses.
Should just be one, and it is. Only the over 7 from it, 2 for 48.
A delicious Hungry Jack's flame grilled cheeseburger, golden fries and a Coke for under $5 is what we call a great deal. But add a cool storm dessert on top of that and it's what we call a stunning deal. Hungry Jack's Cheeseburger Stunner Deal at only $4.95. It's irresistible. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
So that's the scenario for the Blues. 278 to win from 37 overs. Seeing a bowling change. Wegman
right arm over to you.
Comes on in his debut game from the Church Street end. Always a nervous proposition, Greg Blewett. Your first game, first ball. You know, your team's in a very, very good position. Always good to get a dot ball to start off.
Yeah, he'd be nervous. Nathan Wegman, 30 years of age, making his debut. Interesting to see how he goes. His heart will be racing. So he's bowling in a power play, which is also more pressure. No! Not too bad for a first delivery.
No, you're just happy to get it down there in first ball. And that's a dot ball, so plenty of those. He jumps in close to the stumps. No. I suggest he'd bowl a little bit of outswing with that action.
Oh, he's got an edge. Nearly a wicket with his second ball. All right. 50 up for New South Wales. Streaky one.
Well, he's finding the edge. Unfortunately, it doesn't go to hand. Lambert playing away from his body. He'll say it was nicely timed. Tim Payne, as athletic as he is, can't get to something like that. But encouragement for Wegman in his first over, second ball. Nick to what would have been a regulation first slip.
Lambert moved on to 31 off 37 deliveries. Through for a quick single. It looks like he's bowled a consistent line and length, though. Side-on action. What do you make of this, Damien?
Well, he's jumping into the stumps, so he want to be pretty much stump to stump from there. At 30 years of age, you'd think that he's got enough experience to be reasonably accurate. We see a first slip now coming in. Dan Marsh has got himself in there. Brad Haddon, who's just on the 1 run from 9 balls. Nervous start.
Oh, it was given width. It's going to go for 4. Not a big boundary. Lovely shot from Brad Haddon.
Yeah, no width to Brad Haddon. He's too good a player. Good square cutter of the ball. And that is the short boundary. That's what you're going to target. But look at that. Feet still, head still. Heading through the line of the ball.
Good bounce. Let's have a closer look at his action. Talk us through it, Damien.
So it's not a huge runner. I think he gets most of his pace from his bowling action, but reasonably good run up there. Side on. Gets a little bit in the danger area, but probably doesn't go too far down the wicket to worry the umpires. I'd imagine he'll bowl a little bit of outswing, even though the seam seems to be a bit scrambled there, Greg.
11 off his first over, 2 for 59.
Ford Ranger. It's built so tough. It can carry a legendary load. Ford Ranger also comes with legendary handling to help you out of tough situations. And of course, it also boasts legendary towing capacity of up to 3 tons. Ford Ranger, legendary tough.
Tim Payne keeping up to the stumps, got the helmet on.
Ball, Lukey.
Nice and full by Butterworth. I think this is an area where New South Wales can probably attack these 2 bowlers, both medium paces, power play.
Pushing the weights, boys.
Run rate was 7.45. I think maybe it's time I can take these guys on.
We've only got 5 balls of this power play to go.
Yes, Butts. Get that past him, Butts.
And even singles at this stage plays into the Tigers' hands.
Red train.
But trying to at least build a partnership. There was a time with Marsh and Travis Burt where they found it tough. But with wickets in hands, particularly in those last 15, 20 overs with the batting team, with the power play up in to grabs, you can really accelerate like they did.
I think we'll see Brad Haddon taking the bowlers on. Doesn't like to hang around too often. Brad Haddon with his strike rate. There he goes. It's in the air. It's going to be safe. It's going to get to the boundary. So Brad Haddon must be listening to the commentary.
He loves hitting straight, doesn't he? Doesn't matter if it's mid-off, long on or mid-wicket. And here it's outside off stump, and that's just an extension of his forward defence there. So much power. No man back there, so that's a very, very safe shot. Controlled shot in the air. Head remains balanced. Smart batting from Haddon.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. Third man coming around, but he's not going to cut it off. Consecutive boundaries for Haddon.
Consecutive boundaries. A bit of guile there. We saw power in the last ball. This time, length is a bit shorter, outside off stump. Knows that third man's pretty square. And that's deft touch.
Good line, good length.
Nice chopped.
In tighted off stump. Although the ball before wasn't that bad. It was a good cricket shot.
Just a fraction wider, and that's all it needs to be. But that certainly that last dot ball is where Butterworth will want to be at least 80% of the time.
Slower ball, playing a miss to finish the over. 2 for 68.
Your engine knows what it wants. Do you? Pennzoil Platinum.
A young Ricky Ponting, possibly. Got the Aussie jersey on. Oh, they've seen themselves on the big screen. They're spoiling his fun. Come on, lads. There he goes. Good to see some young faces here. Hit through the covers. That's going to be 4 more. So New South Wales getting a bit of a run on now. Lovely cover drive from Lambert.
Yeah, excellent shot. Outside off stump. Just really had to dissect the cover fields mid-off all the way to there. Quick outfield, short boundary. So good batting from Lambert. He's getting his strike rate up.
So Wegman been expensive so far. Remember playing his first match. 1.2 overs. He's gone for 15 already. So he's wouldn't be feeling great at this stage. A couple more dot balls, just calm himself down.
Yeah, it goes really, really quick when the game's going around here. A couple of deep breaths off stump. Get through there, get through your action. Another square drive from Lambert. Good fielding there from Dan Marsh. Just get back to controlling what you can control. Getting into the best areas you can. If they play a good shot, well, good luck to them.
Hadn't wanted the single, sent back. Dan Marsh keeping the field up at the moment. Power plays are over. He's still just got the 3 men outside the circle. Haven't got a fine leg. They've got a deep square leg. 3 men on the onside. So anything on leg stump could be put away. It's in the air, and he's got a wicket. Wegman in his second over strikes.
Jeeves in the action again. He's got a couple with the ball. Now he's helped out his debutante friend Wegman. Got himself his first wicket. Lambert, maybe a tick to Dan Marsh's captaincy, keeping the field up, enticed him to hit over the top. Just didn't get onto it all. So Lambert on his way for 38. The Blues 3 for 72.
Now at Harvey Norman's Games Hotspot. PS3 price smash. The new 40GB PlayStation 3 has arrived for an amazing $687. That's right, the new PS3 with 40GB hard drive is now in stock at Harvey Norman with Blu-ray disc player, high-def gaming experience, the ultimate computer entertainment device, all for an amazing $687. The all-new PlayStation 3 with 40GB hard drive. Go Harvey Norman's Games Hotspot now to secure your new PS3.
Come on, Sebastian. In the car. Do it for Daddy. You go. Vivi, darling.
Get in, Boris. Come on.
The all-new Nissan X-Trail is not for pretenders. It has a new intelligent all-mode 4x4 i-System and a new interior with more comfort, flexibility and storage spaces than ever before.
Boris. Fetch.
Check it out online.
Simon Kadich, the Blues skipper, is at the crease. Good healthy average. High score, 136 not out. It's fair to say he's in reasonable touch. Coming off
a
score of over 300 against Queensland at the SCG. Wegman has his first wicket. in one-day cricket for Tasmania. Might have calmed him down a little bit. But Simon Kadich, as I mentioned, in great form. Seems to have expanded his game a little bit more too, last 12 months or so. On his edge, and he's gone. Simon Kadich has gone first ball, and Wegman on debut is on a hat-trick.
Well done. The first one, well, it was a batsman error. This one's a good ball. Simon Kadich in good form, probably seeing him like basketballs, feels like he needs to play at it. Good length, excellent catch from Tim Payne. And the Tigers are on fire. The Blues skipper on his way. First ball duck. The Blues 4 for 72.
Thursday night at 10. Get set for drama and intrigue as Ricky Ponting leads an all-star cast in the first test. Australia versus Sri Lanka. Comprehensive nightly highlights starting Thursday at 10 on Fox Sports 3.
Watch this. It's Roundup. It works because it kills weeds, roots and all. And in just a matter of days, they could be pushing up daisies. Roundup kills weeds, roots and all in just days.
Welcome to the retreat, boys. What about it?
Bloody thirsty.
A lot of gold inside.
This way, fellas.
Jacko, you're a legend.
Well, wouldn't want the retreat to run dry.
Hello, boys.
What an angel. Oh, she looks hot.
Well, you'd be hot too in that jacket.
Oh, fantastic. Jacko, you've excelled yourself, mate.
Peter Forrest, the 21-year-old, strides to the crease, and he's facing a hat-trick. He's played 2 matches. This is his 3rd. Wegman on debut, having a long chat with Marsh. It was the last ball of the over, so we're going to have to wait. It's a team hat-trick. So Butterworth to continue. Haddon on strike. Got a bit ahead of myself there, Damien, I thought.
Not for the first time, Greg, knowing you over the years. A couple of deep breaths. Patience, Greg. Keep with us.
Take that on board, Damo. Thanks, mate.
No!
So New South Wales in all sorts of trouble. 4 for 72. Wegman, in only his 2nd over, has taken 2 wickets in 2 balls. First one was Lambert, caught it mid-on, and the next, Simon Kadich out. Bit of a fumble by Payne, but it was took it in the end.
Dare to say that was the first time Nathan Wegman's knocked over a guy who's made 300 before. Don't think there'll be too many people in Tasmanian club cricket with 300 to their name. And the game can change so quickly. 11 off his first over. Nervous, couple of good shots. And now finds himself a hat-trick on debut.
Solid, Brad Haddon.
It also changes Haddon's game now, Greg, doesn't it? Him and Lambert were just starting to find the boundary, starting to get some momentum, get the partnership going. Now he can't as easily go over the top.
Come on now, lads, come on.
Peter Forrest, only 21 years of age. Slow ball. We'll start getting into the all-rounders after this as well. Nathan Horrocks, Matt Nicholson to follow. And Nathan Bracken, Doug Bollinger and Mark Cameron. So quite a long tail today, New South Wales. It's got a lot to do, Brad Haddon. 7.5 and over required. So he's just trying to settle things down, try and get a partnership going.
And Butterworth senses this. He's really mixing his pace up. Not becoming too predictable. And that's what his strength is with the older middle overs. Got a nice high arm action as well. Good bouncer.
think ideally Haddon would like to be on strike for the hat-trick ball as well, instead of leaving it to the 21-year-old playing in his third match.
But for theatrics, I think we want young Peter Forrest on strike. Build it up. In good form last year in the Cricket Australia Cup, Peter Forrest averaging 88, made his first-class debut last year while he was on rookie contract.
Haddon, beautiful shot, just caressed it through the covers. He's trying to come back for three. He's not going to get it. So Forrest is going to be on strike for the hat-trick. It's the end of the over. And 4 for 74. Drinks will be taken.
This drinks break brought to you by 4X Gold. Good as gold.
Casey Stoner, Australia's new World MotoGP champion. The A to Z of MotoGP covers everything you need to know to be a part of the Aussie assault. So get on your bike and grab the A to Z of MotoGP at these leading DVD retailers.
Ford Ranger. It's built so tough. It can carry a legendary load. Ford Ranger also comes with legendary handling to help you out of tough situations. And of course, it also boasts legendary towing capacity of up to 3 tons. Ford Ranger, legendary tough.
On the retreat, boys. What about it? Bloody thirsty, mate.
A lot of gold inside.
This way, fellas.
Jacko, you're a legend.
Well, wouldn't want the retreat to run dry.
Hello, boys.
What an angel. She looks hot.
Well, you'd be hot too in that jacket.
Oh,
fantastic.
Jacko,
you've excelled yourself, mate.
Now at Harvey Norman's Games Hotspot. PS3 price smash. The new 40GB PlayStation 3 has arrived for an amazing $687. That's right, the new PS3 with 40GB hard drive is now in stock at Harvey Norman with Blu-ray disc player, high-def gaming experience, the ultimate computer entertainment device, all for an amazing $687. The all-new PlayStation 3 with 40GB hard drive. Go Harvey Norman's Games Hotspot now to secure your new PS3.
Oh, ho, ho. This is good. This is good. Beat that.
Drinks have been taken by the players. And that's the scorecard so far. New South Wales in a fair bit of trouble. Lambert contributing with 38. Apart from that, hasn't been all that flash for the Blues. Brad Haddon still there on 16. The in-form Simon Kadich out. First ball, and Wegman has done the damage.
Yeah, what a debut. This one, Grant Lambert going aerial, didn't get enough of it. Straightforward catch to Brett Jeeves at mid-on. An excited first wicket, but no bigger prize in today's game than that one there. What a ridiculous game we play. You can score 306 one day, walk out the next and nick the first ball. What it all means is that Nathan Wegman on a hat-trick on debut. I'm backing a very well-directed Yorker here, Greg. Does have good control, comes from an indoor cricket background. Quite a skillful tradesman.
So Peter Forrest facing the hat-trick ball. Only in his third match as well. Here we go. Can he get it? Oh, full and straight. And he's kept it out. Well called, Jamie Cox. Full and straight.
Gee, I thought he trod on it for a moment too. There was a clatter of feet and pads and all sorts of things there. It wasn't far away. Certainly a good choice of delivery. Not quite perfectly executed, but a good job. Enjoying a wonderful debut.
Straight again. Forrest going back. He's going well now. First over cost him 11 runs. But now he's found his feet.
There's nothing like a few wickets to calm the nerves, particularly one of such an accomplished player as Simon Kadich. Enjoying his day now. It's all a bit of a joke for Nathan Wegman. Good to be able to enjoy your debut in such a fashion.
Tell us a bit about him, mate. As we've mentioned, he's 30 years of age, so he has been around for a while.
He's been around the scene, good product of our grade competition, plays at Clarence, so this is a ground he knows well. It's his home ground. Has regularly been one of the quicker bowlers in the grade scene and had talent for a long time, but I guess stood behind a pretty steady queue in the last few years. And now gets a well overdue opportunity, so good on him.
Full and straight again. George Bailey doing the fielding.
I suspect that Tasmania will try and blood him as a death bowling type. He does have good control of his skills. Certainly in grade cricket, that's a role that he's played with success. Can get the ball to tail in late in the innings, so a good tradesman, as I said. And just a bit quicker than you think also.
Wanted a single, called yes, sent back by Haddon. Don't need to run out at this stage.
Brad Haddon playing the senior statesman, dominating the calling of his younger partner. Very difficult to fault the overs to date. Every ball zeroing in to middle and off. Great bowling to a new batter.
Clipped off his pads. Jeeves doing the chasing. Haddon wants 3 and he comes back. So Forrest off the mark with 3 into the over. 4 for 77.
And the tour game going on at Allan Border Field. Queensland in a bit of trouble. Chasing 142 for victory, 5 for 54. So it looks like we're in for a close game there. Queensland's strength is often in the bottom half. Andy Bickle still yet to bat. I assume he's probably at the wicket at 5 for 54. Ashley Nofke close by as well. So still some batting to come for the Bulls. But certainly the Sri Lankans are not going down without a whimper. In a good preparation for them for the Test match.
Maharoof 3 for 23. So he's on fire up there in Brisbane. Had to get that one in. Malinga 2 for. He's going to be the main threat for mine in these Test matches, Malinga.
He's the sort of Sri Lankan Sean Tate, isn't he? He's not quite the pace of Tate, but just as awkward. Very awkward customer. Luke Butterworth to continue here at Bellerive.
No. It'll be interesting to see how the Sri Lankans go. And mention Malinga. I thought it's been a little bit disappointing since the World Cup. He had a good tournament, but his pace has been down. He's been watching his pace since then. I didn't know whether it was fatigue or what, but he's been sort of mid-130s, and when he first came onto the scene, he was like 145. So I'm sure everyone will like to see him at the top of his game.
Yeah, it's hard to deal with the unorthodox, and that's certainly one of Sean Tate's great weapons, as well as the fact he can bowl at 150 plus kilometres an hour. But Malinga really does pose some challenges for the Aussie top order. Throw in Chaminda Vasa's consistency. And your mate, Maharoof. And they're putting together a useful attack with, of course, Muralidharan to follow them all up.
Yes.
Single out to square leg.
Nice, mate.
Xavier Doherty doing the fielding. So Tasmania right on top. 4 for 78. They have the Blues. Haddon still at the crease. Everything relies a lot on now Brad Haddon. Good tour of India, played a couple of matches, made the most of his opportunities.
Wait. Yes.
Misfield.
Keeper.
It'll need his finest efforts today from Bradley Haddon. Really facing a mountain now, New South Wales. One of their greatest dangers was hitting wicket trouble. Michael Vivanetto not falling over quick enough there at cover. Fortunately, a good athlete, Brendan Drew, behind him keeps it to 1.
Oh, good leave. It's not that far away from the off stump.
It's my first look at Peter Forrest, and already he looks as though he's a leg side dominant player. Likes to take the ball through the leg side. Typical New South Wales fashion. They generally do tend to be quite strong through the leg side. The slower wickets of the SCG probably supporting that.
Let go again. Over. 2 off that over. 4 for 79.
Okay, kids, where are we going to put it?
In the back with me.
A budgie's not exactly a goldfish, is it? Oh, does this mean we can get rid of the guinea pigs? The guy just If it's not Italian, it's not going in the office.
Real wealth isn't about dollars. It's about living richly. The new generation Toyota Kluger. Enrich your family life.
There's a jolly mood in the Tigers camp. That's Rick Langford, the fitness advisor on the left. The 12th man, Mark Diven. Had a pretty fortunate day. It is a little darker here at Bellerive now, but we didn't expect to get a full day in. Clouds rolling over again, but we should be okay. That man there with some real issues. He's got to find a lot of runs, and he's got to find them quickly. Taking on Nathan Wegman, who's, fair to say, had a dream debut to date.
Through the gap, there is cover on the offside. Fairly spread field now, although it's coming back in for the new batsman at the crease, Forrest. Mid-off was back. He's coming back into the circle, leaving point out as a bit of cover. Pushed down the ground.
No.
Very upright stance, Forrest.
Yeah, it's an interesting stance, almost English in the way that he likes to stand tall. Can cause issues with backlift, but seems nicely balanced. Does plant that front foot in an interesting spot. I reckon there should be some quicks target that in future games.
Looking at 2.
Yes, mate, yeah.
You'll get that easily. Yeah, a bit of Graham Gooch to that.
Come on, Budgie.
It might all be a decoy, that front pad. Maybe he's strong enough through the leg side to just show it as an option. Hopefully lull the bowlers into bowling at it, and he takes him through the leg side. He does look strong in that area. So watch this ball. You can see that left foot planting right on line of off stump. Won't want to miss too many.
He's only 21 years of age.
There's something going on with this O'Keefe business. Hardly anyone's walked out at any stage of the day without O'Keefe on his back. There's about 8 different blokes who've had that jumper on.
You, Peter! Yeah, I'm right.
Well, no one thought that they needed to bring their jumpers down at Hobart, Jamie.
Rather strange thinking for mine, Greg. I think it'd be the first thing I'd pack if I was visiting. Certainly Hobart in November is not known as a tropical holiday resort. Look at the back of our commentary position here. You can almost see the South Pole, so that should suggest enough. Goodness knows what Stephen O'Keefe is wearing today, though. It's probably cold wherever he is.
fallen straight. End of another over. New South Wales 4 for 84. Top today of 14 degrees Celsius. So not particularly warm conditions down here. Dominic Thornley already been in and out, but he's got some gloves on. Keep the hands warm.
There he is, Stevie O'Keefe. He's got a jumper on too. I wonder whose he's wearing. Couldn't be his. He couldn't have that many.
Looks pretty relaxed, doesn't he? Easy day.
Far more relaxed than he should be as 12th man. They should be running around like a March hare.
Again, Haddon pushing for two. Thought about coming back.
Touch it.
Sloppy throw.
They've been solid in the field, the Tigers. They've probably taken the points in that department so far today. They've caught everything, or Travis Burt, sorry, missed an opportunity early, a pretty hot one. The ground fielding has generally been okay, perhaps a little bit better acclimatised to the conditions than the New South Welshman.
Hold on, yeah.
Extra bounce, a good shot though, off the back foot. Wegman again is going to be doing the fielding. Coming back for three.
Required rate for the first time up over 8 and over. Very tough chase from this far out with only 6 wickets in hand.
Slower ball once again. Brad Haddon coming back for two on this occasion. Goes to the bowler's end. Maybe Dan Marsh think about getting another fielder in that area. He does score a lot of runs down through third man region, just to change his plan.
Nathan Wegman will be looking for a break as well. Bowling his spell at the moment. Won't want to be doing quite as much work as he's having to do at third man.
There it is again. So Haddon at the moment happy to pick up his singles and twos. Field is very well spread for him.
Yeah, I guess the game circumstances have dictated pretty much how he has to play just at the moment. Has the experience now to realise his wicket, and this game is probably all over. So he needs to play a very sensible innings, Brad Haddon.
Is cold. Michael Divenuto's got the jumper on, the collar up just to protect neck from the wind. Don't get as much breeze down here now with the construction of the new stand. Used to come whipping across from the ocean.
Right on. Hot now.
Another over gone. 21, 4 for 91.
Live Wednesday night, the Asian Champions League final. The Iranian underdogs of Sepahan take on the potent attack of the Red Diamonds. First leg of the Asian Champions League final, live Wednesday, Fox Sports 3.
Watch this. It's Roundup. It works because it kills weeds, roots and all. And in just a matter of days, they could be pushing up daisies. Roundup kills weeds, roots and all in just days.
Well, that probably explains the conditions here better than most. Perfect snapshot. All rugged up. Enjoying the day, though, if they're a Tigers fan, because they're well in control of the game. 21 overs gone, 4 for 91. The rugs are out all around the ground today. It has been a typical cool November Bellerive day. We expected a bit more rain, which hasn't come, thankfully. We've got a full game in. And we're going to see spin for the first time in the Tasmanian innings. Nathan Horrocks, comfortably the most effective of the Blues bowlers. His left arm counterpart, Xavier Doherty, now given the ball from the northern end here at Bellerive. Usually bowls his spells from the southern end, so Daniel Marsh swinging him around today. Good numbers there we just saw. Almost a wicket per game. Quite an underrated one-day performer. Good athlete in the field. Handy lower order batsman. And doesn't very often let his captain down with the ball. Not a big turner like Horrocks, but very good control of his pace and lines generally. Dan Marsh himself, of course, a centurion today, might have a role to play himself with the ball if Xavier Doherty has a successful afternoon. And a good start. Doherty just trying to warm the fingers up. Brendan Julian's doing the same here next to me. Trying to stay comfortable.
Oh, it's a little edge. Really well placed there from Brad Haddon. It'll race away to the boundary. Good chase of Michael Dighton. And he's come back with a fourth. He'll have to go to the bowler's end, so it's a well-run four. A little bit of turn. But guided down there. The experience from India coming into play for Brad Haddon.
Yeah, he's no Murali Kartik on the spinning wickets of India, Xavier Doherty, but just getting a little bit to offer there.
He really played spin well in India, Brad Haddon. Often came in when the spinners were on. 69 off 83 in Bangalore and 87 from 69 coaching. Evident that he could handle all situations in a one-day game. He can take on the quicks opening the batting, coming in the middle order in the Australian lineup, where really he looked quite comfortable. Compare that to Brad Hodge on that tour. He didn't have a great tour, but Brad Haddon really came into his own, and that's not even thinking about his keeping or anything like that. That's just purely as a batsman.
Oh! Phil there, Doug.
Yeah, was chosen as our next best batsman outside the squad.
Come on, Exie. Come on, Ty.
Fantastic job.
Where's the
And
five?
his chances, no harm. Very mature player now, Brad Haddon.
Ball, Dowie.
The great thing with Brad Haddon is he can get off strike. He can rotate the strike when someone else comes in. Like if he comes in with an Andrew Simons who's going, he can just sort of rotate the strike and hand it over to him. So often in those tours of the subcontinent, he can get bogged down, especially coming in with the spinners on and it's turning.
Yes. Ready.
The way he played over there, he looked very comfortable. In the other, 4 for 97.
Yeah, really matured enormously, Brad Haddon. Done a wonderful role in limited opportunities for Australia. Appears a ready-made replacement for Adam Gilchrist.
Have a look at the Tasmanian Dream Team that was released over the weekend. David Byrne and Jamie Cox Ponting at 3. David Urto, Roger Woolley keeping. Sean Young, Colin Miller, and Hilfie and Damien Wright. No Dean Hills in that lineup. Michael Bevan slotted in there in the middle order as well.
Go now.
That was celebrating 30 years of first-class cricket. The Tasmanian Dream Team. Very good effort there, Coxie, opening the batting with David Byrne.
Yeah, lovely honour. BJ, I still can't believe they couldn't find room for my long-term opening partner, Dean Hills. Michael Divenuto, of course, in that side as well, but yeah, devastated for Dean not to be in there.
Yes. Got it. They're coming.
2. Yeah, the Dinky Hills didn't make it there, Coxie. Brian Davis in there at 4.
Yeah, good choice. Brian was a fantastic cricketer. Did a wonderful job in the formative years of Tassie cricket, but yeah, as I said, there was no Cox without Hills. Very notable omission at the top of that order.
Now, Coxie, what was the qualification? Because Dennis Lilly played down here, and so did Chris Matthews.
Yeah, so did Michael Holding. So did a number of very, very fine internationals. But I think you had to play a minimum 15 games. It was something in that vicinity.
Well, Chris Matthews, yeah, also he would have qualified obviously, but couldn't quite get in. He was a great state cricketer for Western Australia, as well as Tasmania, so that would have been a tough decision as well. Who was the selection committee? Yourself, obviously, you're opening.
I wasn't. I know David Boone was one. I think there were some board members involved as the other members. Michael Livenuto was a member batting at, where is he, 5 there, BJ? Dan Marsh is an interesting omission as well. He's captained the state in 2 trophy wins. Long-term Tasmanian now, so a little bit unlucky. But certainly got tongues wagging, I know, around at this part of the state. I went to a function last night and it was very topical. A lot of people were mentioning who they would have had in the team and who they wouldn't have had in the team. Danny Buckingham was another that people stated was a good soldier for the state to bat in the middle order. But
Rodney Tucker too. He would have qualified, wouldn't he? Yeah, an umpire on the first-class circuit. Another over, 4 for 101.
Ford Ranger. It's built so tough. It can carry a legendary load. Ford Ranger also comes with legendary handling to help you out of tough situations. And of course, it also boasts legendary towing capacity of up to 3 tons. Ford Ranger, legendary tough.
They need 225 to win this game from 27, the Blues. Plenty of work to do. Oh, Brad Haddon is at the crease. They've got a chance.
Come on, XC.
So now over the wicket to the right-hander.
Oh, yes, X.
yeah, the Tigers really trying to close down the scoring options of Haddon. Practicing the sweep there. There is a gap at deep square leg.
Halfway here, lads. Come on.
For Haddon if he strikes it firmly.
Oi.
Hold back. Hold.
So the run rate required now is just under 8.5 and over for the Blues.
Staying around to you, bud.
It's probably an obvious statement, but when you read 8.4, you may as well read 9. You can't score, of course, 0.4 of a run. So unless New South Wales are scoring 9 and over, that rate's only going to go up and up and up. Very challenging task. Brad Haddon really caught between wanting to play the aggressive innings that he's renowned for, but also knowing that any mistake, and the Tigers are pretty much gifted 4 points, maybe 5 or 6, depending on how his tail end respond.
Come on, XC. Come on, boys. 5-6 here. Oh, yes, Doughboy.
They might be even thinking about the bonus point. Maybe that would be their option that they've got to get to. They've got to get to 261 to not allow the Tigers to get a bonus point.
Yes, GD.
261 in itself, a long way off.
Right on. Andrew. Well done, athlete.
I tell you what, the run rate at 8.5 runs and over, the wicket's not turning a hell of a lot out there. And they've got 1 run off this over so far. And they've got deep point, deep mid off, deep mid on, deep square leg. Make that 2 runs for the over.
Has got it. Wickets.
4 for 103.
Yeah, good run, good return from Doherty. 2 runs off. Blues just going backwards, just trying to reconsolidate. It's been a tough period, losing a couple of wickets. You see the Ford Ranger Cup there. A win for Tasmania today really does give themselves and Western Australia considerable break from the pack. So that's what New South Wales would have been aware of. Of course, themselves sitting down in 4th without a win so far in the competition. So to let two teams get away to, well, what would be a minimum 9-point break at this stage of the season doesn't spell well for the competition. But it certainly looks at the minute as though it's heading that way. Conference going on here. Luke Butterworth wanting some changes in his field. Seems keen to plug the gap through third man. Dan Marsh making his way at the moment into a floating slip. There he is in a catching position.
Yes.
Cut away, be close, hits, and it does hit. Peter Parker's going to take a look at this. It did look in live as though the batsman may have been safe. Peter Forrest doesn't look that concerned. But this is going to be tight. Nah, home. Great throw, but all to no avail. Peter Forrest quite justified in his calmness. We'll look up to see the green light. There we go. A sharp piece of work from the Tigers. They've been razor sharp all day.
He hit it quite hard. Hard work of it. It was in.
Good run rate from Haddon, almost going to run a ball. Peter Forrest will need to improve his work today. He's now well established. To chase this down this sort of total, it's going to require two batsmen going together. Brad Haddon, the man who really can't afford to take too many risks, he now has to anchor this innings home. He's going to require young Peter Forrest to take off at some stage, and pretty soon.
That'll be through. It's a good shot. The field up on the offside for Forrest. Just be a couple though.
Yeah, nice stroke. He still does look, for mine, more comfortable through the leg side, but tidy cover drive. Michael Di Venuto may have got a little bit on it at short cover.
He's got a man in the deep. He should come back for two, and he does. Starting to find the gaps now, Forrest.
Yeah, that's where he's most comfortable, undoubtedly. Ball floating into his pads. Takes the ball comfortably off stump through the leg side. We'll be hoping that Tasmanian bowlers attack the stumps more often to him.
And the over 6 from it, 4 for 109.
Tim Payne behind the stumps, already taken a fantastic catch to get rid of Simon Kadich. Didn't get a chance to bat today, but really is the leader of the band.
Yes, X. Oi! Come on, XE, come on, boys! 5-6 here! Oh, yes, Doughboy. Wait on! 3. Hold on, athlete. Wait.
Certainly cut from the tradition of noisy gloveman. Tim Payne certainly likes to make an impact behind the stumps. Lead this young Tigers band in the field. They do take great pride in their athleticism in the field. So far today, it's worked well for them.
Just check it, Brad. I'm not sure they've marked it properly.
Come on, Chelsea boy. Oh, Dowie. Nice work, mate. Good work, Dowie. Come on, boys. Halfway now, Dowie. Come on. What?
It's got through. So it'll at least be 3 for Brad Haddon. He's calling the third.
Not on that, Dave. Not on that.
So for New South Wales, one-day form hasn't been that flash towards the end of last season and heading into the start of this season. Of the last 9 games, the one-day games they've played, they've only won 1. That's including today, depending. And one of them was a no result. So their one-day format, they just haven't got together. They haven't quite got the combinations. They've lost a lot of players to the test level.
Left wing. Got it now. No. Go, Wiggy.
The last win was back in November in 2006. That was against WA. And they won by 1 run at the SCG, and that was in the Ford Ranger Cup. So the past 9 games, they've only won 1 New South Wales. So plenty of work to do in the one-day format.
Watch out. Come on, Cheesy. Well, Dowie. Go!
Still showing good intent, the Blues. Really keen to try and push the Tasmanians, particularly the debutant, Wegman. They've every ball that's gone to him, they've really let him know that he's in the contest. Trying to find any advantage they possibly can, the Blues.
No! It's getting Doe.
It's good variation from Doherty. Pushed one through a bit quicker. Seam up. Mixing his pace very, very nicely, as we've seen previously in this competition.
Really good work.
Over.
No.
4 for 114.
Advanced Hair Studio now guarantees a result for hair loss.
I would recommend it to anybody that's going a little bit bald and thinking of it. Get in there and have it done. It's pretty easy.
So whether you're just starting to thin or if you're balding, Advanced Hair Studio's exclusive procedures can guarantee a full head of hair again.
I think the results speak for themselves.
Don't wait until it's too late. Call Advanced Hair Studio on 1300 663 737. Call now.
Blustery conditions at Bellerive Oval. And oh, wait for the bowling change. The Aussie Test squad, a few changes in there. It's a squad of 13. Phil Jakes back into the team. He'll open the batting. Mitchell Johnson, good form from India, in the side. Stuart McGill and Brad Hogg will fight it off. Sean Tate injured, so Ben Hilfenhaus came into the side as well. Plenty of choices up at the Gabby, you'd think, day one, Jamie?
Well, there's 13 fit blokes up there. So there are plenty of choices at this stage.
Wegman into the attack. Oh, that's got to be close. It's hit him in front. Peter Parker just walked off to the left and said, don't even worry about it. It looked very, very close, straight up. It looked absolutely plumb.
The fact that he's given that leg byes makes it even more confusing. In live action, this looked absolutely dead. And I'll confirm that statement. That is as out as you'll ever see, not given, not out. I expected Peter Parker to give that runs when he gave that not out. That's hit his back pad in front of middle and off stump. And that is just a phenomenal decision.
That's just terrible. I mean, for Peter Parker to walk away straight away, and not even really look at it, look at that, just not out, and then give it leg buys. What he's thinking there. Experienced campaigner, Peter Parker, too, so he's been around a while, but I don't know, he's got that one horribly wrong.
Trying to even it up. Trying to improve the contest here. Nathan Wegman, it would have just been a continuation of a dream debut for him. First ball back in a new spell. It's already taken the big wicket of Simon Kadich, almost added the equally large wicket of Brad Haddin, but that's the game. It does have a human element.
Have to hurry. And he's through. The only thing with that LBW is he probably thought he was walking down the wicket and had too far to travel, but it already hit and was carrying through. Have a look at this. He's coming down the wicket, Brad Haddin. Pitching, hitting. That's just probably going underneath or something. I'm not sure.
Well, looking at the positives, you can only be impressed by what the debutant's delivered here. Coming back from a new spell from the southern end, he's delivered 5 balls which have all been hitting middle and off halfway up. Very, very good performance. Maybe just shows the value of an experienced debutant. Settled in like he's been playing at this level all of his life, Nathan Wegman.
He's bowling beautifully, stump to stump.
Stop.
Which is the perfect way to bowl in this type of wicket at the moment. End of the over, 4 for 121.
A lot of stumbles here in the Blues innings. Best over of 11 in there, but really no consistency. There will have to come a moment reasonably soon where the hammer gets put down and New South Wales make a real charge at this total. Those 4 dots really are the problems for the Blues. Hasn't enabled them to get any momentum. Here's the man of the moment, Peter Parker. I wonder what he's writing in that book. Perhaps there's one to review after the game.
Come on, next team. Come on, tight. Come on for bowlers here, lads.
He'll have to hurry here. So the 50 partnership for Brad Haddin and Forrest. 67, so it's not too bad. It's just the target is blowing out. Nearly 9 runs over that.
And under normal circumstances, they're not a long way back. We have mentioned a couple of times that Peter Forrest is the last. This is the last partnership between the recognised batsmen. Certainly got some capable all-rounders to follow. You wouldn't want to leave them too much work to do. Doherty doing a job once again for his captain.
Oh, yes, Dowie. Good stuff there, XC.
Run rate now just ticked over 9 runs per over required.
Thanks, man.
And one of the first signs of turn today. Doherty taking the pace off that one, getting it to straighten nicely.
Come on, lads. Push it to 10s now. Push it to 10s.
Varying his pace very well.
Yes, Steve.
There's not a lot of turnout there. There's the occasional one's holding up. There's not a lot of turnout there. He's varying his pace well, Doherty. But he doesn't play in the 4-day game as a spinner. So that's a suggestion that he doesn't turn it that much. Let's come back for the second.
What he is doing is getting through his overs very quickly. And you've been watching that run rate down the bottom in the ticker. you'll see that it's going up at a very, very fast rate.
There should be 2 there. May even be 3. No. 5 from it. Run rate just over 9 runs and over. 4 for 126.
Georgie Bailey hit him beautifully earlier in the day. 65 off 47. Very clean innings. Fantastic partnership of 99 with Daniel Marsh. Really got the Tasmanian innings rolling. There it is. 7 4s and 3 6s. Very powerful day. Very innovative innings. But a very, very ordinary display at facial hair. If you can see it, we better get a close-up. Try and zero in on that. I can assure you there is a slightly ginger tash evolving.
Very good bowling.
Good, Birdie.
Nathan Wegman, he's just bowling nice and straight on this wicket. They don't get a newish ball to the 34th over, but he's just bowling stump to stump. Brad Haddon misses. Well, he'd have a reasonable chance for an LBW, but looks like he might have to bowl him. Perfect position on this wicket. He's got a deep mid-wicket and a deep square as well. No fine leg. He's really bowled to his field today, the debutant. Ooh. It's a little bit quicker.
BJ, Nathan Wegman, side on, fast medium, stump to stump. You know, it reminds me of Adam Dale, the great Queensland swing bowler. Played a couple of tests, about 20 or 30 one-dayers for Australia. I wouldn't be surprised if he's modelled himself on Adam Dale with that action.
No!
Yeah, I know what you mean, stump to stump. I reckon Adam Dale got him really close to the stumps. He just seems to be not as in close to the stumps in delivery, but I know what you're saying though.
Just the short run up, jump into the stunt side on. There's a bit of a delay, similar follow through. Tigers would be happy if he could do a similar job. Adam Dale was an excellent one-day bowler.
Well, he's got the perfect line here. Just bowling stump to stump. Very close LBW show, Brad Haddon.
He's on a hat-trick earlier on. On a bad hat-trick ball too, either right in the slot to Peter Forrest. Oh, that should have been a wicket. Wasn't going over, was it? But just with that line, they're taking a risk to hit against the line, aren't we? And that's what got Haddon in trouble that first ball. Good stump-to-stump bowling.
Yes.
He'd get a lot of club wickets, wouldn't he? Just nibbling around with the new ball.
Well done,
Love that. They're putting on a show here, the Tigers. It's all about the entertainment factor.
He's an entertainer, whether he's batting or bowling, Jeeves. Just thought he'd stir up the crowd a little bit. Here, this should be a regulation pickup, and that's an 8.2.
No!
I like the way that he actually throws off his knees there. So, Jeeves having a good day of it.
Very good over from Wegman, the debutant. Run rate just under 9.5 and over, and there's 3 from that one, so 4 for 129.
Higher interest, no bank fees, no hidden catches. You asked, ING Direct delivered. Now they're Australia's biggest direct bank. Impressive, eh? I'm told that you simply link your existing account to an ING Direct Savings Maximiser, transfer money, and let high earning commence. So why doesn't everyone save this way? High interest, no bank fees. Why wouldn't you? Go online, call anytime. They never sleep. It's your money.
Come on, Bart. 10 degrees down here at the Bellerive Oval.
Down, Joey! Donna! Yes, Donna!
Look for two.
We got him!
They have to hurry. If it's a good throw, a bit slow on the release there. So Michael Dighton getting in there.
Well, they don't need a run out right now. Haddon wants two straight away.
We got him!
Forrest, young man, gets there comfortably. Good grounding of the bat there.
Pressure's on Michael Dighton again.
Well done, Dights.
Okay, this time he's got it back in quickly, so Xavier Doherty be pretty happy with that.
Bowling well again, like he did last week against the Redbacks. Changes his pace very, very well. Angles over it and around the wicket.
Nice impact,
Not a tall man. So it's those subtle changes that make him a success at this level.
Big job out there, Griff.
Just an update, I think the weather's dropped down to what the run rate is now. BJ, 9.
Yeah, they're very close to the worm of the temperature and the run rate.
I'm backing the run rate to go up higher than the weather from here.
Yeah, I get the feeling we're going opposite directions. Probably same temperature inside the New South Wales changer at the moment.
I just hope it doesn't get to that current rate, BJ. 4.
Athlete!
So the partnership now 60 off 83 balls. Hasn't got too much momentum.
Bowling well, Xavier Doherty. Just 3 off that over. 4 for 132. Partnership 60 from 84. Forrest 25 from 49. Doherty 5 overs for 21. Hasn't been a lot of turn.
So Daniel Marsh winning the toss, getting 100. Big total from his batting. Enjoyable day so far. Having a chat to Brendan Drew, who was impressive again. Opening spell with Jeeves really put the Blues on the back foot from the start.
The man in the deep. He's got protection. He's coming back for the second left to hurry. Brad Haddon. Oh, if he was taking it, it would have been see you later. Tim Payne didn't get it in the gloves. So the throw coming in, it was right near the stumps.
Need to be a bit shorter or a bit fuller from Doherty.
He's got an up bat on that. Yep. A sweeper out there that'll be 2 comfortably this time.
Left out.
Nice shot. No boundary though. Just the 4 for Haddon at the moment. He's 49. Peter Forrest hasn't found the boundary and he's 25. Run rate getting up to 10. Onto leg. Haddon helps it on its way. That's his 50. So a good knock there off just the 53 balls. And his great form just continues in all formats for Australia. For the Blues in Pure Cup cricket, forward ranger really is one of the premier batsmen going around Australia at the moment.
Yeah, the Tassie crowd appreciating that 50 there from Brad Haddon. They know he's the man they need to get out to win this game. Oh, going down the leg side, that one.
you got to play straight. Wegman very much stump to stump. You can see that he's going to get some LBs when he plays a bit more at this level. Good to see. They miss you hit. A couple of wickets in his debut game already. So a happy day.
Yes.
Good line outside off stump again. Just the single.
Wait. Not now.
Jeeves does the work. Down at third man. He's impressive with the ball early after coming into this game with his best first-class figures, 5 for 49 versus the Redbacks in the last Pura Cup match.
Leg side. Looks like a little bit of reverse swing there.
It's over.
Just shaving down the leg side. It's a good over there from Nathan Wegman. Let's have a look at it here.
So coming down the crease again. No, it's angling down the leg side. I think he is going to get some LBWs though, Wegman. And we throw down to Tim Coyle, the Tigers coach. Corley, on debut, Nathan Wegman, you must be very impressed and very happy.
Yeah, very happy with the way he's going. Yeah, Nathan's been around a little while. He's got a bit of experience, and he's brought that to the game today, which is tremendous for him.
What about Dan Marsh, the skipper? Tim, didn't he bat beautifully today?
He's been in great form, BJ, this year. I must admit he's batting well as he's ever batted, I think, and he's really put some good innings together recently. So leading from the front as the captain should.
Got a game coming up. Your next one's at the MCG against Victoria. That starts Friday. So it could be out in the deep, and it's not. It's 4. Brett Jeeves taking another tumble. But Tim, as we look at the replay of this, good momentum going into that Pura Cup game.
Yeah, we've had a good week last week against South Australia, obviously winning the one-day game and the 4-day game, and things are going pretty well today, obviously. So it'll give us some momentum going into the game in Melbourne. It'll be a tough match. It always is over there, and normally a pretty flat wicket. So we're going to have to be at our best.
Corey, and you won the Pura Cup final last year, the first time Tasmanian Tigers have won it. Must have been a great thrill. What about trying to back up this year? What would have been sort of a couple of things you've been trying to focus on?
Well, we've probably tried to not focus too much on defending the title or winning back-to-back premierships, if you like. It's about being focused on improving our cricket right across the board, and I think we've done that. We've really focused a lot on our one-day game, and I hope we're seeing the work that the players have put in there out on the field, and I think our results so far are showing that. I believe that if we play good one-day cricket, that'll certainly help our 4-day cricket. So, look, we've really just focused on trying to be better than we were last year, and if that's good enough to get us into the finals, well, so be it.
Mate, no Ben Hill for announced today, but I thought Brendan Drew and Brett Jeeves bowled beautifully in the opening partnership.
Yeah, obviously without Hilf, who's been a big part of our bowling attack now for 2 years. But the other guys really, look forward to those opportunities to take over as our lead bowlers, and it's something that we really, again, focus on as a group, that we don't have to rely on Hilf or Damien Wright, who's also out of the team at the moment. We've got people underneath that who are ready to go, and I thought Jeevesy and Drew, as you said, were fantastic this morning, and they'll continue to get better.
And Collie, what about the coaching itself? It must be pretty good feeling to obviously win the Pura Cup, but you've obviously done a lot of coaching at underage level, and the Hilford Houses and Paynes and Baileys, all these sort of guys you coached at a young age. Do you think it's helped with your relationship, already having a strong say in their upbringing in their youth cricket, and then following it on in the senior side?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Flem. I know I've known these guys for a long time, and I know their cricket really well, but I know them as people pretty well, and that gives you a great advantage as a coach, I think, because you can deal with lots of issues, not just cricket issues with them, and we have a really good, strong relationship, and there's quite a number of these players that are running around for Tasmania that I've had a lot to do with over the course of a number of years. So it makes the job easier. At times, it's still very frustrating when you don't see them performing as you'd like. But across the board at the moment, we're going pretty well, I think, and we've got a lot of people who are really desperate to get into the team, and that's really important to our program as we move forward.
Well, good on you, mate. Thanks for your time. Congratulations. You're part of the dream team as well, and good luck the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Cheers, guys.
Tim Coyle there, the Tasmanian coach, all rugged up. Looked pretty cold. Run rate's at 10 runs and over. The temperature's about 8 degrees, so difficult work out there for the fieldsman.
Take him! Take him!
He's got on the bowler's end. Some cold hands. He's got the momentum going in the right direction for the Tigers, Tim Coyle. Beating the Redbacks in the Pura Cup. They're on track to win this Ford Ranger Cup game as well.
Well, he's talked about focusing on the one-day arena, and it's been a good start. Had 3 bonus points coming into this game. In a strong position here today to maybe pick up another one. Brendan Drew with the ball in his hand. Good opening spell.
On the leg side, and he's got enough on it. Beautiful shot from Brad Haddon. It was sliding down the leg side, and he just helped it on its way.
Oh, this is a brilliant shot, Brad Haddon. He's enjoyed it as well. Just landing down the leg side. That's just a sweep shot. Over square leg for 6. Hasn't tried to overhit the ball, just helping on his way. Beautiful timer of the ball. So 150 up for the Blues.
And through the offside now. Big chase for the sweeper in the deep. And back for the third.
That's good running. It's a big boundary out there. So pushing always for 2s and 3s. So the second and third 50s taking exactly the same 57 balls. So they're going to need this 4th one to be quicker and quicker. Run rate now close to 10 and over. Peter Forrest needs to start finding the boundary.
Fight on.
Strike rate around the 50 mark. Needs to rotate the strike a lot more. Doesn't necessarily need to hit boundaries all the time, but he's got to be able to work the ball into the gaps and get off strike. Get Brad Haddon on strike. He's the man that can do some damage. Got to work the ball down through the third man area and find his gaps. Gone for it over the top. It's cleared mid off. He gave himself a bit of room, and that's a boundary for Forrest. And his first boundary.
Well, it should give the young fella some confidence. Gave himself a little bit of room outside the leg stump. Didn't quite get onto it, but that's what he's got to do. Move around the crease a little bit. If the men are up, he's got to go over the top. Not just have pressure on Haddon to hit the boundaries.
And that's good and off strike as well. So that's what he's got to do, Peter Forrest. Hit the boundaries and also get off strike. That's what the Tigers did. 4 for 160.
November, Fox Sports brings you golf from across the globe. Teeing off with the CMN Classic and Nationwide Tour Championship. Over 5 hours, live from the US. How good is that? Final round, live tomorrow, 6 a.m. Fox Sports 1.
Better clear some room, because the mid-size Epica CDX with 4 airbags and alloys is yours from $27,990 drive away. Clean up at your Holden dealer now.
So we're back at Bellerive Oval, and that's a scenario target, 326. The Blues are not quite halfway yet. 16 off the last over from Brendan Drew, so that started to get some momentum going. Peter Forrest hit his first 4. He's on 31 not out, Haddon 66 not out. And the skipper, Daniel Marsh, slow left arm. Haven't put spin there because there's not normally too much movement off the pitch for Daniel Marsh. More in the air. And he throws it up straight away. How have you seen the Blues innings so far, Greg Blewett?
This is a handy partnership. Obviously losing early wickets didn't help. Been very impressed with Brad Haddon again. Going from strength to strength, his batting. Dan Marsh. As you mentioned, Damien's probably not going to get a lot of turn.
Ready?
But what he'll do is just vary his pace through the air, coming around the wicket. So far, been quite slow, but he'll fire the odd quick one in. It's in the air. Oh, races away for 4. So 4 more runs to Forrest. Drew was the fielder.
Well, Marsh, it's slow left arm, and if you drop short, there's plenty of time for the bats to back onto that back foot and punch through the field. Really starting to rotate the strike as well. Interesting to see when they take their power play, the Blues. Will we see it in the last 10 overs? They've got wickets in hand and they can keep going around 8 or 9 and over. There's no need to take the power play.
Well, they changed the ball at the end of this over. Oh, he's gone aerial over mid-wicket. He's going to pick up 4 more runs. So they're keeping up with the run rate, New South Wales, keeping it around about 10 and over.
And good shot. He's taken on the big boundary. And there is 3 men out on the leg side, but he gets his timing right. Execution splits mid-wicket and long on.
Oh.
Single to finish Dan Marsh's first over, which cost 12 runs. 4 for 172.
So Brad Haddon now in a partnership of 100 runs with Peter Forrest of 108 balls, and this is his 50. Beautiful time with the ball. Square the wicket, loves to go over the top. And there's some finesse there as well. Brought in 4s on the leg side to that short boundary. He's hit a 6 out there as well. That's the one there helping us on its way. Brilliant shot from Brendan Drew's come back over. And he's a dominant force at this level, Brad Haddon. He's looking towards the dressing room to say, when am I taking the power play?
Got it. Ready, man.
No signal yet from Peter Parker.
Center. 1.
So there's been a change of ball.
Greg, would you just give it a couple of overs at least? Soften it a little bit. Not that it'll get too soft. If there is any movement, it'll be in these first couple of overs, just to see what the ball is doing.
Well, I think they're going okay at the moment. They're keeping the run rate around about 10. So at the moment, I wouldn't change anything. Give it 3 or 4 overs. That's another good shot. Going to be at least another 2 runs. So they're doing it quite easily at the moment. So I don't think there's any real point in taking the power play. Just keep it up their sleeve. If there is maybe a couple of quiet overs, then take the power play.
Geez, I'd love to see it in the last 5 overs. We haven't seen that since this rule's been brought in. Seeing if they needed. We saw the Tigers got 49 in their 5-over power play. I just think it'd be really exciting seeing the last 5 overs, only 3 fielders outside the circle.
Tasmania, yeah, took it overs 40 to 44. I reckon that's about the ideal spot to take it if you're batting first, because then that gives you real momentum going into the last 5 overs.
And they were 3 wickets down. George Bailey and Dan Marsh were well settled. So it's handy to take when you've got 2 set batsmen, which the Blues have got now.
Trying to bowl full, Drew. Trying to bowl Yorker length. Try and minimise the damage at the moment. They're going for quite a few runs, Tasmania. Still well in front. But it's been a good partnership. Forrest and Haddon have now put on 103 runs from only 111 balls. A couple of all-rounders to come, Nathan Horrocks and Matt Nicholson. Butterworth, the fielder. Good save, probably saved one or two there. He's bowling Yorker length, so trying to squeeze that out, Forrest, and diving away to his left. The sun comes out almost for the first time today. Well, that's very full. Waiting for a call from the umpire. Square leg umpire indicating it was waist height. Thought might have got away with that.
Brendan Drew will be happy. Oh, that's pretty high. I think he's got away with that. Over waist height.
Batting a fair way back in his crease, Forrest.
Right on.
Straight to the fielder.
Over.
Players are going to take a drinks break. It's 4 for 177.
This drinks break brought to you by 4X Gold. Good as gold.
Thursday night at 10. Get set for drama and intrigue as Ricky Ponting leads an all-star cast in the first test. Australia versus Sri Lanka. Comprehensive nightly highlights starting Thursday at 10 on Fox Sports 3.
Throughout history, we've risen to the challenges that have confronted us under a rising sun. If you want to make a difference, challenge yourself and rise.
Hadden again pushing for a single. The players rejected their drinks break, so we're getting on with the match.
Stephen O'Keefe ran out, though, to talk to Hadden and Forrest. Maybe, well, you'd think definitely they'll be hearing about when their thoughts are on the power play. So exactly 10 and over needed.
Judge! Well done, Balo.
Firing that one in, Dan Marsh. He's trying to bowl probably middle and leg stump. Changing his pace. He's bowling the right end. Long boundary out that side on the on.
Your angle's right there.
Just nudging over 10 and over. 10.14.
Hey, Danny.
Good bowl, Dan Marsh.
Sleep
Right on the
bowled,
block hole.
Subs. Nicely bowled.
Dot balls are gold now. Even every ball that doesn't at least get a 2, the momentum's going up and up even more. Giving him no pace to work with.
It's hit very hard. Oh, and he's dived over it. I think it was Dighton, the fielder. Hit with good power.
If you're bowling with no pace, you've got to get the batsman driving. You can't give him any time to just rock on that back foot again. Michael Dighton having a real go at that one.
So Dan Marsh's 2 overs so far costing him 19 runs, 4 for 184.
This drinks break brought to you by 4X Gold. Good as gold.
Thursday night at 10. Get set for drama and intrigue as Ricky Ponting leads an all-star cast in the first test. Australia versus Sri Lanka. Comprehensive nightly highlights starting Thursday at 10 on Fox Sports 3.
Now, at Harvey Norman's Games Hotspot. PS3 price smash. The new 40GB PlayStation 3 has arrived for an amazing $687. That's right, the new PS3 with 40GB hard drive is now in stock at Harvey Norman with Blu-ray disc player, high-def gaming experience, the ultimate computer entertainment device, all for an amazing $687. The all-new PlayStation 3 with 40GB hard drive. Go Harvey Norman's Games Hotspot now to secure your new PS3.
Welcome to the retreat, boys.
What about it? Bloody thirsty, mate.
A lot of gold inside. This way, fellas. Jacko, you're a legend.
Well, wouldn't want the retreat to run dry.
Hello, boys.
What an angel. She looks hot.
Well, you'd be hot too in that jacket. Oh, fantastic. Jacko, you've excelled yourself, mate.
Tonight, exclusive to Fox Sports, pride will be put to the sword.
Take a bit of that.
In the second test between Great Britain and New Zealand.
It was a thunderous challenge.
The Lions haven't conquered the Kiwis in a series for 14 long years.
Understand you here.
Can the boys in black deny them a place in history?
Unbelievable. They are applauding in every corner of the ground.
Great Britain versus New Zealand, tonight at 10, Fox Sports 2.
NFL, Monday morning, Fox Sports.
Players have taken a drink this time, and that's what's happened so far. Brad Haddon leading the way, currently 82 not out off only 72 deliveries. Forrest is with him. He's been there for 63 deliveries for his 39. But just staying in touch, New South Wales.
And the players to come, none of them notable batsmen by themselves. They're all-rounders. In particular, Horrocks and Matthew Nicholson put on 66 in 51 balls against the Warriors in the first game of this forward range of this season. So they're going to hit the ball long, as can Nathan Bracken. But the Blues will want Forrest and Haddon to at least be batting through the power play.
Brad Haddon in screens been sensational today. Really held the innings together for New South Wales. Luke Butterworth coming back into the attack. Bowled 7 overs so far without any success. Chipped away. Haddon looking like he wants to target that boundary on the leg side. Just see him there practicing that shot.
I think he's just practicing for that power play when it comes. They're going to target that hill side boundary. Forrest has picked up his strike rate in the last few overs as well. He gets some width and he's gone uptown. Tim Payne with the gloves in his hand. That's a smart decision there. So the partnership has been broken. Peter Forrest is on his way.
Looking for the big hit, Peter Forrest. Might have been a change in pace from Butterworth. Was wide outside off stump and off the edge. Went fairway up in the air and well-judged catch to Tim Payne. Dan Marsh leaving it for his keeper. So Forrest was there for 64 deliveries, made 39 runs. New South Wales 5 for 185.
Live Wednesday night, the Asian Champions League final. The Iranian underdogs of Sepahan take on the potent attack of the Red Diamonds. First leg of the Asian Champions League final, live Wednesday, Fox Sports 3.
Throughout history, we've risen to the challenges that have confronted us under a rising sun. If you want to make a difference, challenge yourself and rise.
Full toss. Haddon, once again, well placed. He's picking up twos regularly.
Good here, mate.
New batsman, Nathan Horitz. He's not going to have a lot of time to settle in at the crease. He needs to get on with it right from the word go, because the run rate is over 10 runs required. Handy batsman.
He can be quite tough to bowl to, Nathan Horitz. Likes to cut the ball, but busy around the leg side as well. Has to get going straight away. And the tough thing with the wicket lost is Brad Haddon, who looked like he was really starting to up the ante. He'll have to change his game, at least for, you'd think, a couple of overs while Horitz gets set.
I think he's got to keep going. Brad Haddon, that was a dismissal of Forrest. Straight up in the air. Well judged catch. Single to get Nathan Horitz off the mark straight away.
1-3.
Good over so far from Butterworth, picking up a wicket. He's going for the 4 runs so far. Good finish, get a single from it. Bit of footwork there. 37 overs gone, 5 for 190.
And Tim Payne taking a catch there. It's always the keeper catch. Remember in New Zealand once I bounced Chris Cairns and it went miles in the air, and I looked at Adam Gilchrist and he started running at the last minute. He shook his head, went after it, and just at that stage the wind started to take it away and I didn't even get a hand on it. So good to see Tim Payne putting his hand up, taking the catch. Hasn't had a lot to do today, but always encouraging. Bubbly personality, popular within the team, Tim Payne.
Xavier Doherty back into the attack. One-day player of the year last year for Tasmania. Hasn't picked up a wicket. And reasonably economical. Doherty bowling over the wicket, trying to angle the ball at the batsman's pads. Lovely shot for one.
He's in great form. Even then, he wanted to get to that, the half volley, couldn't get there. Just punches the ball straight into the gap, gets himself off strike.
Can go further if you want it.
Doherty now changing his angle. He's going to come around the wicket to Nathan Horitz.
Come on, next man.
So I think it's a good move to the new batsman.
That's the centre.
Run rate just starting to climb again.
No,
Good ball.
Really good, go.
Arm ball, seam up. So a couple of areas for the batsman. I think Brad Haddon be thinking over cover or over mid-wicket are probably his two main areas. Here's that last delivery, seam up almost. Goes straight. And that's going to be 4 runs. He's picked the gap beautifully. Mid-off is quite wide. Another lovely shot to Haddon.
That's a fabulous shot. He's grinning as well. He's riding his luck. He's in such good form. So once again, he's gone outside leg stump. Mid-on's back. They've got a wide, long off. And he's got the timing and the balance to dissect both of those outfield. He goes again, and this one looks better. He has middled that all the way for 6.
6 runs.
Quality batting. 12 off the over. Blues 5 for 202.
Thursday night at 10. Get set for drama and intrigue as Ricky Ponting leads an all-star cast in the first test. Australia versus Sri Lanka. Comprehensive nightly highlights starting Thursday at 10 on Fox Sports 3.
Watch this. It's Roundup. It works because it kills weeds, roots and all. And in just a matter of days, they could be pushing up daisies. Roundup kills weeds, roots and all in just days.
Comparison in run rates. The Blues almost on par now. Might have a game on. Looking way out of it. It's been Brad Haddin. He's got his side back in.
Yep.
Hit away by Horrocks. Going to be more runs. Going to come back for 3, Brad Haddin. Haddin's now on 98 off only 80 deliveries. The last ball from the last over went for the maximum down the track, and that was very sweetly timed. Didn't try and overhit it, and that's quite a big boundary, and he's disappointed. He knew it was disappearing for 6, so he's on 98. Single out to deep point, takes him to 99. He's been great today, hasn't he, Jamie?
His run rate's escalated enormously. His last 40 runs just have come in the blink of an eye. And just an effortless straight 6 just shows the form of the man. Holds all the keys here, depending on what sort of support he can receive. But Horrocks has looked capable already. Game on.
Right there.
They don't bat deep, the Blues. Nicholson due to come in next. Nathan Bracken capable. Then we go down to Bollinger and Cameron deep into the tail, so not a lot to come. They won't want to use up too many more wickets in taking this most of the way.
Horrocks doing the right thing, getting Haddin back on strike. So Brad Haddin on 99. No change in the field. So plenty of singles out there. And that'll be it. That's his 100, Brad Haddin. He's going to come back for 2. And that is a fantastic innings. Second 50 coming off just 29 deliveries. Gets the applause from his teammates.
His 5th 100 in the competition of 82 balls. Great mature innings from Brad Haddin. His side was in real trouble. And he's started to rescue that situation and giving his Blues just a glimmer of hope here. Momentum starting to swing, but a lot of responsibility still in his hands. He's got to take them all the way.
Maybe.
Another single down to third man to finish the over. 8 off the over, 5 for 210.
It's been a marvellous innings. 100 off 82. Got away to a flyer. Equally strong either side of the wicket. That was a 6 off Brendan Drew. And here's one of the straight shots, but here's the beauty. That was a 6. Straight back over the bowler's head for 6. Well-deserved century. Very well timed, very mature innings. And now it just remains to be seen how far he can take the innings. Brad Haddin will be one of the great domestic innings if he can manage to secure this one. 120, 116 still required off 66 balls. That is still a very, very steep task. Interesting wagon wheel. All his runs, not much behind square on the leg side. Maybe an indication of how the Tigers have bowled to him. Really very impressive.
Having a discussion with the 12th man about when possibly to take the power play. The batting power play still not taken by New South Wales, which could be an important factor. Run rate is 10.5. So those 5 overs of that power play are coming up. So there's plenty of action still. Jeeves back into the attack. Oh, that's a bit sloppy, bit of a misfield. Divanutu at mid-wicket, just... Oh, Dan Marsh, excuse me, the skipper.
Yeah, they have looked a little sluggish in the field. Certainly the last 15 overs, the Tigers have been put under extreme pressure by Brad Haddin. They've run a number of twos, certainly picked his fieldsmen. Just a very clever innings. Minimal risk. It's really only gone aerial in the last couple of opportunities. Extremely well controlled to this stage.
Jeeves will be trying to bowl stump to stump the Horrocks. New batsman at the crease, he'll be trying to get him probably the bowled or LBW. Quite fast through the air, Jeeves.
He's bowled a wonderful spell in the context of this game. 6.2 overs, 2 for 15.
An appeal for caught behind, but I'm pretty sure it came off the back leg. Keeper wasn't really interested. Also going over the top, so it couldn't be LBW.
Now, a good decision, I think, from umpire Stephen John. Umpiring only his second game. That took a piece of the pad.
Short and wide, hit away very crisply by Nathan Horrocks, but straight to the fielder. Haddin back on strike. He's the danger man. Remember, there was a massive LBW appeal. He was on 37 at the time. He's now 103 not out. Full and straight from Jeeves. Everyone on the circle now. So they're allowing one, but that was hit quite crisply to the cover fieldsman. The appeal I was talking about came down the wicket, but it hits him on the back leg, and that is extremely close. Would have been 5 for 114 if that was given out. 3 off that over, so good one for Tasmania. 5 for 213.
Yeah, just what Dan Marsh would have required from Brett Jeeves. He might have wanted a wicket, of course, but just the 3 runs from it is a good return from Brett Jeeves. Having an excellent day, of course, was left out of the Tigers' side from last week's game. Brought back in due to the injury to Adam Griffith, and has led the attack beautifully today. There's a score comparison. Not quite enough big overs for the Blues, but things are picking up.
Yep, you're ready, Pete.
Peter Parker knows how to wind that up. Did a bit of practice of that today. The batsmen have the power play. So here is the crunch moment in this game. New South Wales have decided it's time to charge. Brad Haddin to lead the band here. 104 not out, hitting the ball beautifully. Nathan Horrocks now seen enough balls to probably join in as well. These next 5 overs will determine the course of this game. Brendan Drew's been entrusted to bowl the first one of them.
It's off stump.
And in very deep discussion with his skipper.
So the next 5 overs, only 3 men outside the circle are allowed, bringing Brendan Drew back into the attack. He's at the moment, he's got fine leg inside, deep square leg. There's also a third man in place and a deep mid off.
Expect Brad Haddon here to hammer the short boundary. Daniel Marsh doing his best to deny him. He's packed the offside field, so you would suggest here that Drew will try and bowl with offside width. He's got a 6-3 offside field. Just the one man out on the leg side, the deep square leg boundary. Third man up into the circle, which is quite a dangerous move. Haddon is very, very good in that area, placing an enormous amount of pressure on his bowler to deliver the line.
Here we go, power play. Oh, that is an umpire killer. He's got 4 runs. He apologises to Peter Parker. Fastest I've seen him move for a while.
Well, so he should be thanking Peter Parker. He's done him a wonderful favour already today. Brad Haddon almost repaid him with tax.
Well bowled in the block hole. Peter Parker just composing himself. Head was nearly taken off on the previous delivery. Here it is. Bash back. Good evasive action.
Good thing he's such an agile man. Would have been in trouble otherwise. Different discussion now. Nathan Horrocks on strike. Tasmania will do everything in their power to bowl as many of these next or remaining deliveries in the power play to Nathan Horrocks or anyone else other than Brad Haddon. Brad Haddon, the man who controls both teams' destiny here at the moment.
Doing the right thing, getting Haddon back on strike. Sure, Haddon will be looking to go leg side. A little bit surprised mid-off is back. I probably would have thought mid-on might have been the better field placement. Oh, and hit straight again. Well fielded. He's a good athlete, Drew.
Probably excuse him for not really following through real strong just at the moment. There's a few balls coming back at him a bit quicker than they're going down. But it's a dot, which is worth gold in these circumstances.
Peter Parker was on his toes that time as well. Well bowled. Right in the block hole. Can't do much for that. They get the single. So 7 runs off this over. Required run rate of 11.5. So this has been good. That's excellent bowling.
We saw in the New South Wales innings, if the skills are executed, it makes it difficult. There doesn't need to be much of a margin for error to give the batsman all the aces here.
Oh, that's very full. Being called a no ball by the square leg umpire, rightly so. And both umpires calling no ball. I think that's just a back square leg umpire's call. So above waist height is a no ball. Pretty well played by Horitz. So it's not a free hit. Good bowling. Hear Brad Haddon say running. 11 off that over. 5 for 224.
Tour match at Allan Border Field has now finished. And Queensland getting home in a close game, 6 for 142. Clinton Perrin, the man seeing them home. Ashley Noffke also 21 not out, completing another excellent match double for him. Certainly one of the form players in the country at the moment. So Sri Lanka certainly off to a bad start on their tour. Queensland doing the right thing by Australian cricket, making life quite awkward for the tourists. Dan Marsh staying with Brett Jeeves, which you could only say is a smart move given Jeeves' excellent figures so far today. 7 overs, 2 for 17. In this contest is the standout fast bowler at the moment. Beware, because things may change. There's a power play in place, 4 overs still to be bowled. But good man to have the ball in his hands.
Backing away, Horitz. Got it down to third man. So another discussion now between Marsh and his bowler about setting the field for Brad Haddon. Trying to anticipate where they think might want to hit the boundaries.
It's difficult to know, isn't it? Because you can only really set a field for perfect execution of a plan, and that relies on a lot of factors. Most of all, the bowler being able to deliver it. Brett Jeeves is a skilled operator. So, one thing, the plan needs to be good, but two, it needs to be executed with real precision, because we've seen already today what a good surface this is, and with this man in the form that he's showing, absolutely no margin for error. Long off has gone back. There's still a deep cover in place and a third man and a deep backward square. So one of those is going to have to come up. It looks like it'll be third man, which, given the amount of runs Brad Haddon has scored in that area already today, could only be described as risky.
Good. Ooh, might have been close if there was a clean pickup. So 100 runs to win from 52 deliveries in the middle of New South Wales batting power play.
Yeah, your money be on the bowling team, but whilst that man's at the crease, you're just never sure. Tasmania, every ball of this power play will require an enormous focus. History as well on their side. No one's chased down a score even close to 325 at Bellerive Oval. But just the brilliance of Haddon has kept this game alive. The field for Nathan Horitz now changing in complete appearance. Fine leg going back to match the deep backward square with the deep backward point as well in place. So completely contrasting plans for the batsman today.
Well bowled, followed him. Nathan Horitz trying to hit through or over cover, and Jeeves follows him.
He just showed his plans a bit early, I thought. Horitz made the movement early, gave Jeeves a good look at his intentions. Jeeves had plenty of time to see his movements. Third man now going back. Fine leg coming up inside the circle. So every ball bringing a change from the Tasmanian captain. A headache that he really didn't want to have to deal with today.
It's also, this is where it's important that the captain has enough time up his sleeve as well. So it's important that they got through the overs quickly at the start of their bowling innings. So now he can take a little bit of extra time getting his fields right. So under 100 now required. Oh, that's very full as he got away with it. Another no ball call. Jeeves apologises to the batsman. So in search of that Yorker, just over pitching.
Umpire Stephen John, you may have heard in the microphone, issuing Brett Jeeves with his first and final warning. That means that if Brett Jeeves bowls another one of those, he'll be off. Strange rule.
Slower ball. Just starting to get a bit darker here too, Bellerive. Quite dark, doesn't really look it on the screen, but it is getting very dark. We haven't had any showers. They were forecast. So far been very fortunate, but it is getting dark. And that'll be wide down the leg side. It's getting darker. It's also not getting any warmer. Slow ball to finish the over. Throws it back to the keeper. Attempted to anyway. 42 overs gone. 5 for 230.
Ford Ranger. It's built so tough. It can carry a legendary load. Ford Ranger also comes with legendary handling to help you out of tough situations. And of course, it also boasts legendary towing capacity of up to 3 tons. Ford Ranger, legendary tough.
The worm is catching up here at Bellerive. The New South Wales Blues making a charge here in the power play. Tasmania also were excellent during this period of their innings. Brendan Drew now continuing to Brad Haddon.
Wait.
And a very, very important dot.
Awesome, Joey.
2 runs a ball now. Brendan Julian rejoins me.
Yeah, nothing to lose now. They're in a position where they're soaking up the overs and nothing left but to go for it. 2 runs of ball's pretty hard. With Brad Haddon there, anything's possible. 112 for him. Bit of superb innings. He'll push for 2 here. He won't get it though. Good piece of fielding in the deep.
Good piece of bowling as well. Really limiting the options that Haddon can hit. Thought Haddon might even try and take that ball to third man, as he's done so well during this innings, but good start to the over from Drew. Just the single from the 2 balls so far. Nathan Horrocks is going to have to join the party now. He's going to have to try and find some boundaries as well.
Very good bowling. Very good bowling from Brendan Drew. He's got his 3rd man up. He's bowling full and just outside off stump to protect that short square leg boundary. They're in the power play.
And that run rate gets out of control. Every dot at this circumstance really is a big nail to the Blues.
Straight back and down the ground. That'll be another boundary. It's beautifully timed there from Nathan Horrocks on a much needed boundary.
Which again emphasises the small margin for error only just under-pitched from Drew, but just couldn't quite find the chalk on that occasion. Just enough for Horrocks to get underneath. Beautifully struck. And a welcome boundary.
Another good delivery. Really got that Yorker sorted out. They've come back for 2. Partnership 52 from 41 now for Nathan Horrocks and Brad Haddon.
Become quite predictable, Brendan Drew. Would encourage, it would be courageous, but perhaps be brave enough to throw in a bouncer, throw in a different length delivery, just to see if Nathan Horrocks is alert to things.
He'll have to hurry. Just shot at the bowler's end. He's gone. Dan Marsh there doing the damage. It was a direct hit. Nathan Horrocks gave it up. Good bit of work from the Tassie skipper.
Yeah, he's enjoying a good day, Daniel Marsh, and he's generally a very accurate left-arm throw. Had plenty of time to gather, balance himself. Seemed to take an eternity to line this up. And bang. Nathan Horrocks just in the frame. So the Blues lose their 6th wicket, and they're now at 6 for 237.
Inside Cricket, live Monday. Turn to Fox Sports for the facts straight from the meat of the bat.
Can't lie, you know, if you're a selector, what a terrible thing.
Guaranteed never to duck the big issues and committed to deliver uncompromised, colourful and often controversial opinions from those that know best.
A lot of banter on and off the field.
Stand there and give them that one.
I've enjoyed that, and we'll enjoy the rest of the evening, I'd say.
From Mumbai to Melbourne, we've got the game covered. Inside Cricket live, 8:30 Monday, Fox Sports 1. Tonight at 9, MotoGP from Valencia, live on Fox Sports 1. In Malaysia, Casey Stoner carved the next chapter of the Stoner age.
Stoner and Ducati have just done it again.
Leading from the first corner, he celebrated his birthday with his 10th win of the season.
What a year it has been for him and Australia.
With one race left, can he continue his reign in Spain? MotoGP from Valencia, tonight at 9, live, Fox Sports 1.
Matty Nicholson, the new batsman for the Blues. Starting of a new over now. 100 in the Pura Cup. He's going to need all that form to get the Blues over the line. The run rate just under 13 runs and over. Brett Jeeves, 2 overs to go for him. It's dark out there as well. Plenty of things to contend out there.
Yeah, all the aces still with the Tigers. We just keep coming back to the one big wicket here of Brad Haddon. Doesn't seem to have had much strike lately. Looks a bit brighter than what it actually is on our cameras, but really getting quite gloomy here now at Bellerive. Must be getting difficult to see.
Through the leg side. Be a fair bit of work for Matty Nicholson to get back at the bowler's end, and he does.
They've just got to keep the ball off the rope, the Tigers. If they can stop the ball hitting the boundaries, this game will get away from the Blues very quickly. Have another look at Dan Marsh's excellent piece of work at cover. Balanced himself. Yeah. And struck the stumps firmly. Haddon gives himself room on that occasion, but wonderful piece of bowling from Jeeves. Just enables a single, so again, another nail into the Blues coffin as run rate required goes above 13.
Nick, there's a noise there somewhere. Didn't carry though. Tried to shorten him up, Matty Nicholson. It's got one man in the deep to beat, a deep square leg.
He was up for the challenge, Nicholson. Just struck him on the back thigh. Another handy dot for the Tigers.
It's really bowling well, Brett Jeeves. 2 for 27, his figures so far. One more ball left in this over and then one more over left. Very impressive from him today.
Yeah, in the context of the match, that's almost worth 3 votes. That's an outstanding day's work to date. If he can finish it off, perhaps with another wicket, keep his analysis certainly under 40. Good day's work.
Good over for the Tigers, only 5 from it, 6 for 242.
A bit of extra bounce for Jeeves, a brave delivery. The third man was up in the ring, but good bounce, good reward for courage. Chase of 325, the Blues 84 from 6 overs, or 36 balls. 14 runs per over is an extremely steep ask. Just starting to wonder if it's even beyond Brad Haddin. Matthew Nicholson now needs to just find his very best form as well. A very capable striker and in some form. And he'll contend with Luke Butterworth now coming back from the southern end, or river end. Brendan Drew's bowled out. Luke Butterworth now 1 for 51 from 9 overs, so a good return to this form of the game as well for him. And he's got 6 big balls to bowl.
Brad Haddin was running anyway. He took off straight away, no matter if he missed it or went through to the keeper.
He'd take 6 of those. Brad Haddin getting a running start. Would have been interesting if that had been struck straight back at the bowler. Someone would have been run out. I've got a feeling Haddin might have crossed. This is the over, the last over of the power play. Fresh bowler on. Brad Haddin will be eyeing up the short boundary.
Just going to say that you think he'd be stepping across the off stump, trying to use it. There he goes in the offside. Will it beat the man at mid-on? It doesn't. It's a good piece of work. Brendan Drew, but he's got enough on it.
Momentum nearly took Drew over the line. It's a good fielding position for one of your better athletes. It suggests that's going to be a pretty hot position there for the next 4 balls. He's got Travis Bird at deep mid-wicket, who's one of his other better athletes, Daniel Marsh, so he's got his fielders well placed. He'll be pretty happy with how things are going. He knows that he should have this game under control. Just a couple of other issues to attend to. A couple of good overs and the game's all his. One big over and the Blues all of a sudden get interested themselves.
Oh, back at him. He ducked well. He struck that firmly, Brad Haddin. And he nearly got cleaned up, Luke Butterworth.
Did that go right through him? I've got no idea how that missed. Young man with a long life to live. Almost cut short. Fancy bit of footwork from Haddin, and that's as hard as you can hit a cricket ball.
Well, that would have hurt it if it hit him. Down the wicket. Just a single. So the 250 comes up for the Blues. And I think Luke Butterworth's thinking, I'm not pitching it up anymore. 42 deliveries the last 50, 34 the fourth one, so they're going at it hard as they possibly can, but the run rate now over 14 runs and over. That's a good delivery and good shot. It was right up the block hole, but Matty Nicholson just dug it out over mid-on and one bounce for 4.
Not a real lot wrong. It was only an inch or 2 in it, but enough for Nicholson to get under. Good striker in good form and brings a change in the field for Daniel Marsh. Long on now, dropping back, taking himself over into mid-wicket, and the deep cover fieldsman coming up for this, the last ball of the power play.
12 off the over so far. Nova and Con caught it back with a point. George Bailey does the work. He gave himself some room there, Matty Nicholson, but didn't get enough on it.
Yeah, you might have heard the call through the microphones. Matty Nicholson could see straight away that he hit straight to George Bailey at backward point. He took a nice straightforward catch. So another nail into the Blues' coffin. Good reward for Luke Butterworth, who was forced to bowl that nervous over. But the Blues now 7 for 254 and in a lot of trouble.
It's a November to remember on Fox Sports. Basketball. Be in the game as Big Basketball Wednesday hits the boards with Starting 5. Live and exclusive NBL and live NBA every week.
Like that.
Tennis. The Top Guns tough it out in the season-ending Masters Cup. Live from Shanghai. Only on Fox Sports. Wow. With World Cup swimming, motorsport, NFL and so much more, it's a November to remember on Fox Sports. Live Monday morning, EastEnders drama from the Barclays Premier League. West Ham welcome Bolton as the Wanderers faithful welcome their new manager. Is it time for the turnaround?
Oh, what a finish!
And Man City have been sensational at home. But watch out, live Tuesday morning, the Black Cats cross their path. Monday morning, West Ham take on Bolton. Tuesday, City Sunderland. The Barclays Premier League, live and exclusive to Fox Sports.
7 for 254, the Blues. Nathan Bracken,
Change of bowl of bread.
the new batsman for the Blues. It's the end of the power plays. Can be handy with the bat. And Haddon's still out there. Xavier Doherty back into the attack. Bowled well today. No wicket for 38 from 7. Hasn't picked up any wickets, but his economy rate's been very good. Look at the leg side.
Marshy.
Beautiful piece of fielding from Dan Marsh. A metre either side, and it would have been 4. Hit it well.
Here's a replay of the wicket. Nicholson just slicing it, not getting the elevation he was after. And that's as straightforward as it comes. Staying over the wicket now to the new batsman.
That'll do, off the mark. 15 runs and over now, the run rate.
Brad had 124 off 102 balls. We suspect he's got to nudge over 150 for the Blues to be a chance.
Oh, Dowie.
Another one to mid-wicket.
Yeah.
One overthrow. It's a little bit sloppy there.
Yep, 3, come on.
But it was from the skipper. He could probably get away with it.
Well, do.
I can tell you he's pretty dirty on himself.
Oh. Yeah. 3.
It's certainly a good case to have someone backing that up anyway, but
That is down the leg side. I'm not even sure if he got anything on it. He might have got a bit of pad on that.
Wide ball.
No, he didn't. So the Blues, if they get to 261, they'll save the bonus point.
It's come off, Tim.
got a feeling that might have taken a piece of pad on the way through, but probably deserves a wide anyway. It was extremely wide. I think the bowler has a case, but not a strong one.
Wig!
He's bowled well, Doherty, today. I reckon for a left arm, there's not a lot of turn in the wicket, but his pace and his flight have been really good. He's been under a bit of pressure, but he's stood up to the plate. And dot ball.
Yeah, that's gold. New South Wales have avoided the bonus point, but don't look like avoiding the 4-point defeat.
Ball, Day.
Go out to mid-on. And just one. So good over for Doherty. Stayed from it. 7 for 262.
Yeah, it's heading backwards, the game, no doubt about that. Still a slight glimmer of hope, but it's going to require a monstrous effort from Brad Haddon. Have a look at the wickets today. A great start from Jeeves Cowan, presenting a straightforward catch to Devenuto, and that was a plan. They bombed Dominic Thornley, and he obliged, presenting a very straightforward catch to Brendan Drew. It saw a bit of daylight, but stayed in. Nathan Wigman's debut wicket. Straightforward catch to Brett Jeeves. A good moment for any young man playing his first game, and this was first ball. Super catch from Tim Payne. A wonderful piece of bowling, and the moment I guess this game really went downhill for the Blues. Forrest tried to go aerial. Tim Payne took the straightforward chance. Had to go Forrest. It had a slow day. They built a good partnership with Haddon. And Nathan Horrocks hit one straight to Daniel Marsh. Took him on suicide. Marsh did the rest. And the last wicket to fall was Matthew Nicholson slicing one straight to point.
Back live now. Found the spot down there at fine leg, has he? He has. Beautiful shot. Through the legs, got enough bat on it. Another boundary for Brad Haddon.
Good piece of bowling from Wegman. They're chasing two, but they won't get them. Innovative piece of work from Brad Haddon. Very, very good piece of watching and skill execution from the debutant. He's been impressive today, Damien Fleming, hasn't he, for a man playing his first game?
Yeah, definitely. Living off the first over, a lot of nerves, and then found himself on a hat-trick at the end of the second over. And it's a big wicket of Simon Kadich that really changed the momentum in this game. And there's a lot of attributes he has, i.e. close to the stumps, very, very accurate, that will benefit him when any games he plays at this level. And that's his number 3. Devenuto under it. Bracken on his way. Really nothing more to do there. Need boundaries and couldn't find it.
No, he's having a super day, Nathan Wegman. Nathan Bracken hasn't had one to enjoy. Had to go, just didn't make the contact. Just proceeded in presenting a very, very simple catch to Michael Devenuto. So Nathan Wegman's day just continues to improve, as does the Tigers. Bracken gone for 2, now 8 for 267.
Ford Ranger Cup. Live Wednesday, the Redbacks will be desperate to put the bite on the Blues.
That is maximum.
South Australia v New South Wales, Wednesday from 2 on 3. Cricket on Fox Sports. How good is it? Live Wednesday night, the Asian Champions League final. The Iranian underdogs of Sepahan take on the potent attack of the Red Diamonds. First leg of the Asian Champions League final, live Wednesday, Fox Sports 3. It's a November to remember on Fox Sports. Basketball. Be in the game as Big Basketball Wednesday hits the boards with starting 5. Live and exclusive NBL and live NBA every week.
You have to like that.
Tennis. The top.
Wegman again. Gets the length right. Good piece of fielding there from Travis Burt. It's had a good day. Got the Tigers off to a good start with the bat. And there's the new batsman, Mark Cameron. Not bad strike rate, Coxie.
That could come in handy.
Yeah. I think that was off one ball, just guessing. And he needs plenty of that today. Haddon moves across again. Gets under it. Will it go all the way? Fielding by Butterworth. Throws to the bowler's end. And they get home safely. That's good running from Mark Cameron, who's just got out to the crease.
Yeah, it's a good test to the hamstrings to scamper up and down. Fast bowler got through his 10 overs earlier on. Brad Haddon not quite making the contact. Wegman denying him the length he was after.
Take him!
So Wegman again comes in. shorter ball, and Haddon will just get the single. So another successful over for the Tigers. The Blues 8 for 270.
Over.
Yeah, 56 now required off 3 overs. Wegman watching well, not being fooled by the movements of Haddon. This will show that Brad Haddon's just had too much to do. It's been an outstanding innings, 134 off 110, but just hasn't had enough partners. Probably the big one, Simon Kadich, first ball. You would never have predicted that coming into the game. A couple of 30s. The standout there, Brett Jeeves, 2 for 27 off 9, but all the Tasmanian quicks have done a job. Nathan Wegman, probably the other standout on debut. Xavier Doherty continue.
And Haddon's winding up. Calls of 2. Good running again from Cameron. Will he get there? That looked pretty close. Going to the third umpire. Doherty not getting overexcited. Barley was the throw.
No one looks that interested. You can normally tell by the player reaction in these circumstances. You expect Mark Cameron to come into play shortly, but he may be... Oh, no, just makes it. You're not going to tell from that angle anyway.
Well, he hasn't faced a ball, Cameron, but he's ran very, very hard to make sure that Haddon retains the strike. Looks like he's home there. Closer angle. The bails, for me, aren't off, and Cameron looks like he's in his ground. George Bailey, hands in the pockets, keeping them warm. It's been a cold day. But the Tigers' batting was red hot. Thanks to the captain, Daniel Marsh's century. Haddon again. And that's a run out. Clever stuff from Xavier Doherty. It was a good ball to start and a tidy piece of fielding as well.
Yeah, he was on a hiding to nothing, Cameron. He knows that his job there right now is to run like the wind. Tried to pinch a head start. The only danger he had was exactly what happened. Good piece of bowling, good underneath the feet of Brad Haddon. Couldn't do much more with it, and Cameron was just stranded. So a duck for him. Naught balls faced, so he won't damage that strike rate. But now 9 for 272.
From November through to December, Fox Sports takes you to the Republic, where the Proteas defend home turf from the invading Black Caps. 2 tests, 3 one-dayers, and a touch of a smash and grab 2020 all live.
Big hit, huge, ponderous 6.
Gives himself width outside the leg stump, can't get through. It's been smart bowling from Doherty again. Impressive week starting against the Redbacks, backing up against the Blues. Dougie bowled it to the crease. The big left arm quick, can hit the ball far and long, just not that often.
And he's got the little boundary to aim at too, Damien, left-hander, so he'll be hitting towards the hill, and he's going to have to hit it a few times here. It's a chance to not die wondering though, Douglas.
He's a big, strong man. Needs to middle him here. I don't think there's a single there, Dougie. But it's swing time. But Doherty really doesn't give too much width. The length is always full. There it is again. That's great bowling. On for 49. 1 ball to go in his 9th over. Up again. Dougie swings. They won't run through. Haddon will retain the strike after 48 overs. The Blues are 9 for 274.
Yeah, super over from Doherty. Really good piece of bowling, giving Haddon no room at all, and Cameron just stranded. Didn't really commit to the run either, Cameron. He was just sneaking down, doing the right thing, trying to run for his senior batsman. But the game now, well, there's nothing to be said other than that Brad Haddon needs to hit balls onto the hill, and almost every ball. 53 required from 12 balls. Very, very tough ask.
Wegman continues, and that's a wide. Torquay Parker getting into it, the act.
Could have given us all an early afternoon, Peter Parker, if he'd have been alert nice and early, but still we've been treated to a fantastic innings from Brad Haddin.
A swing and a miss. There hasn't been too many of those for Brad Haddin. It's been a brilliant knock. 137 not out of 114 balls. No other Blues batsmen have got to 40, and that's the key. One of the other top order got to 50 or 60, got the feeling in good pace. Blues would have been right in this. Goes away. A little bit predictable to the short boundary.
Yeah, there's probably not much future going to the 80-metre boundary over extra cover at this stage of the innings. He's got one thought only. Swinging Nathan Wegman onto the hill. Got Brendan Drew away earlier, but other than that, the Tigers have denied him pretty well.
Connects this to this one. Looks like only a single. Bollinger will be on strike. So Wegman's impressive debut continues. Just the 2 off it so far after 3 balls. And imagine he'll get a few games this summer for the Tigers in the Ford Ranger Cup particularly.
Yeah, he looks ready-made, doesn't he? The value of an experienced debutant. Probably a bit like a Shane Harwood in Victoria, arrived in the game, ready to go.
Bollinger on strike, gets width, playing a miss, and he's pretty dark out there. Hard to come out and swing straight away at number 11. You don't get a lot of hits. Oh yeah, doesn't get too much in grade cricket as well.
He's got a couple of cherries on that bat, Damo. He's obviously spent a bit of time in the nets or somewhere.
And that's a nick behind. And that's the end of the Blues innings, and a tick for Nathan Wegman. He's picked up 4 wickets on debut. Emphatic win for the Tigers. Win by 50 runs, and that man Daniel Marsh played a significant role in it today. Plenty of help with Burt and Bailey. Jeeves was good with the ball. And there's the dismissal of Doug Bollinger on his way for a duck. So Haddin left, 138 not out. And another great win for the Tigers, Jamie.
Yeah, super win. They've dominated the day from ball 1. I thought the Blues were a little bit off early in the field and with the ball, a number of missed opportunities in the field. But really, Tasmania, the dominant side, with the exception of that man there, Brad Haddin, has had an exceptional day out. Happy bunch of Tigers. They go to the top of the table, and they've got a lot of distance now between themselves and Western Australia and the rest of the pack. Really, I think it's 9 points will be the difference when we see it. But a very, very comprehensive victory in the scheme of things. The Blues, too much left of Brad Haddin, 138 brilliant runs off 116 balls, but 2 other in the 30s, Grant Lambert, Peter Forrest. Other than that, a pretty sad batting card for New South Wales, and a pretty sad day for them all round. Bowled out in 48.5 overs for 275, 50 runs short of the Tasmanian Tigers target.
And with the ball for the Tigers, Drew and Jeeves were very good in the opening spell, and Jeeves 2 for 27 off 9 was brilliant. Butterworth picked up a couple, and Wegman on debut 4 for 44. He will cherish that forever, and Doherty and Marsh played a role as well.
He'll cherish those, or cherish this day. Nathan Wegman, 4 for on debut. There he is, a happy man. He's waited a long time for this opportunity, and you can only suggest he'll get a few more of them based on what we've seen today. Very, very good effort. So we'll throw down now to Greg Blewett, down on the boundary line with the captains.
You get Simon Kadich with me. Disappointing day, mate. A good run chase, but probably just too much to do.
Yeah, it was. Look, we were disappointing in the field today. It was pretty disappointed with the way we went about it. There wasn't a lot of energy out there, and 320 was way too much.
Do you put that down to the conditions? Because it is bitterly cold. Do you think that sort of contributed to the feel out on the ground?
Yes and no. I mean, look, Tassie handled it better than us. Both teams had to go through the same sort of scenario, so they handled it better than we did.
I also thought the power plays were very important too, because I thought Tasmania bowled very well in their power play, not so you.
Yeah, look, obviously they got a fair few in that period, and it gave them a good momentum in their last 5 or 6 overs, and we were hoping for the same, but unfortunately didn't pan out that way.
Yeah, you've got some work to do. We looked into last year as well. You've now lost 8 of your last 9 one-day matches.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good trot for us, so we've certainly got to think about things and try and resurrect it.
And Brad Haddon was sensational, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was a fantastic knock. Without that, we were obviously no chance, and yeah, it was unbelievable knock.
All right, mate. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, mate.
And I've got Dan Marsh with me, mate. That was it was a good day.
Yeah, it was a great day. I thought we batted really well, set up well by our openers, and thought we bowled particularly well. Obviously, with that small boundary on one side, we bowled one side of the wicket, and yeah, very pleasing.
And would you agree with that? I thought you guys bowled very well in the power play, especially.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Haddon was obviously on fire, and we had to work out a way to stop him, and we did that by bowling a wider off stump, and the blokes executed perfectly.
And Wegman on debut was impressive. It was on a hat-trick at one stage.
Yeah, he was fantastic, 4 for 40. He had an interesting day yesterday, his brother's wedding, probably great preparation, and yeah, fantastic for him. He's been a stalwart of club cricket down here, and it's great to see him do well.
And you're also our Ford Ranger player of the day, so congratulations, $500 from Ford. So you must have been really happy with your own form.
Yeah, it's always nice to get some runs, and probably just do my job in the team, which is to anchor the innings and have a bit of a slog at the end.
All right, well played, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Well, a very happy Tasmanian captain down there in the doom and gloom. We'll be back after the break with Brendan Julian to sum up the day.
Fox Sports is the home of the range this November.
I'll say it is.
Get in the swing this summer with all the action from the Asian Tour, European Tour and LPGA. Golf's first ladies do battle in the Tour Championship from Florida. November 15, Hong Kong Open. And don't miss the World Cup of Golf where the men tee up to do their countries proud.
What a brilliant shot.
Get a grip on the best golf this November with Fox Sports, the home of the range.
Monday mornings on Fox Sports. Take a hike on the wild side. With live NFL from the 07 season. See every yard and every down from key weekend matchups.
What a moment. Just listen to this crowd. Wow.
In a touchdown spin-around race to the Super Bowl.
He's got the ball. It's a touchdown.
Welcome to the big game. NFL Monday mornings, Fox Sports.
Hi, I'm Rochelle, and I am living the life.
Rochelle?
Years ago, I came to Hollywood to follow my dreams, fall in love, become an actress, and live like a queen. Well, I am an actress, and I did fall in love, and now I'm living like... Well, what am I living like? Everything is a struggle. Nothing is done easily. We have to... It's a negotiation.
This is what keeps the ship going.
This isn't a ship, Ed. It's a house.
Exactly.
My husband's a star, but he's decided we won't live in Beverly Hills. Oh, no, instead we have our charming little house here in Studio City.
Welcome to my house.
Ed! Complete with a white picket fence made entirely of recycled milk jugs. Our sporty vehicles, electric or two-wheeled. All of the power in our house, don't ask. Now, the long and the short of it, my husband, Ed, might be an environmental hero to you, but to me, well, let me put it this way. You try living with Ed.
Two of the best fighters in the sport today.
Oh, he catches him with a body shot.
For Miguel Cotto, it's the fight that could launch him into stardom.
Oh, that was fast.
For the future Hall of Famer Shane Mosley,
He looks like he's in as good a shape as he's ever been in.
it's the most important fight since his spectacular battles with Oscar De La Hoya.
What a performance by Sugar Shane Mosley.
The young pretender up against the seasoned master, Cotto v. Mosley. Live Sunday, November 11 at 1 p.m. See it on Main Event or at your hotel or club.
The player that fires me up the most is New South Wales wicketkeeper Brad Haddon.
I'm going to have to say Brad Haddon.
Brad Haddon is probably a guy who always had a great competition with.
He obviously plays the game hard, but he plays the game fair, and he's just a really inspirational guy to play with.
I actually are really good friends with Brad, but I just love playing against him. He's got that attitude where he's going to come out there and hit you for 6 and 4s.
Yeah, I hate playing against Brad Haddon as well. It's a real pain in the neck.
I'm Brad Haddon from the East Cricket Club, New South Wales.
It's the competition that turns state lines into battle lines. The Ford Ranger Cup. Cricket on Fox Sports. How good is it? Live Wednesday.